Live from places unknown in a little place called Arrakis. It's Friday night.
The spice
Little
must
place.
flow. And how do I know this? For he is the Kwisatz Haderach.
Make
I
it
used to call
rain.
myself the Queerzatz Haderach when I was younger because I thought I was that gay, like, like, like super gay.
Okay.
I thought you were that gay too.
I was waiting for the validation. Thank you. Welcome back. This is our second episode of The Return. Is this like how Starfleet Boy After Dark was like TNG and this is Star Trek Picard? Is that what like the After Dark show is like?
Yeah, because Starfleet Boy Actual
Is
was
TNG
the original series.
the original series? Okay, I like that.
Then Starfleet Boy After Dark was the TNG.
Right.
And then
This is Picard.
Is the Picard of Starfleet Boy. I swear I just opened this beer. I literally just started drinking. And I've already lost my ability to communicate clearly.
That's okay. I knew what you were saying, and so did the audience. Welcome, audience. It's nice to see you. Happy Friday. Happy TQIF.
Happy Friday.
It's so nice to have to say TQIF. Like
honestly, like the last weekend and like this week, for whatever reason, we're like this has been like the most enjoyable 7 days for like the last, I don't know, like year and a half or whatever, for just like my mental health for whatever reason. Maybe it was just Starfleet Boy After Dark. Maybe it's just I just needed to talk to Sohel and Marcelo on Friday nights is how it is.
The After Dark show, your therapist. Tell us all your problems in the chat and we'll solve them here. But let's not make it too heavy. We try to stay lighthearted as much as possible. Hey, Commodore Trev, there is only one Commodore Trev.
Oh, is that our friend Trev?
That is our friend Trev. Commodore, no pressure, but incoming. You're gonna get an invite to the stream, so stand by. Check subspace.
I haven't hung out with him in a long time.
Did you know Commodore Trev? I don't remember that.
Yeah, no. I've been on a couple panels with him before. If I'm thinking of the right person.
Well, here we go. Wait, make it show while I can't do two things at the same time.
I understand that.
I'll be right back. I'm gonna send a link.
We can shoot the shit for a bit. Marcelo and I can talk.
Tell everyone what we're talking about tonight. All the topics that we're talking about, and like how anyone can also add to that, of course.
Well, Sohel wanted to talk about the Tex-Trek content we did earlier, but I want to talk to Marcelo about Dune though. We're gonna have some Dune Part 2 talk later, and Marcelo and I both attended two different, but we both went over the last weekend to see Dune Part 1 in IMAX. It had been re-released. Marcelo, you said that was like the first time you saw it in IMAX. I know you watched HBO the first when it originally was released.
Yeah, because like so many other people, to avoid the big sandworm of our time, I watched it at home. But it really blew my mind because I don't think a movie in my lifetime deserved the cinematic treatment more than Dune Part 1 did. And the nice thing about it was I just watched it with 4 other people, including myself and my grandfather, in the theater, and it was such a transported experience by Denis Villeneuve. The wonderful thing about Dune, at least for me, is the world building and the character development that Denis Villeneuve does and his writers doesn't feel forced at all, in ways that the David Lynch version of Dune, if you've seen that, seems a little bit forced and a little bit strange in ways that Denis makes the material understandable and relatable to an audience member who may not be familiar with the Doom books. And I thought that was his greatest achievement as a storyteller.
It was kind of impressive to have my friend Dave, the Tex-Trek co-host that people here probably know, but
Yeah,
he called it a populist Dune. But
a
yeah,
populist.
it was. I don't mean this to like insult the movie in any way, but it was very consumable. Is what I was gonna say. Like I don't want
Yes,
to say mainstreamy, but yeah, it was consumable.
yes.
But I know that Denis has like a strong passion for the source material. He talks about in interviews. You see his eyes light up, and he gets like this just the super just excited, joyous expression on his face when he talks about reading the book as a boy. This was even though it's like based on Frank Herbert's novel, this was such a passion project and a personal story to him, and
Mhm.
he does put a lot of thought and effort into making that world so like fully realized. It's crazy. When I was seeing it in IMAX, I was like, just like the scene of like the first time Paul is in like the deep desert, and I love that the movie has the freedom to like it can like stop and breathe and let a scene play out and slow down, almost something like we see a lot of it more in like this prestige era of television. But a lot of movies don't have the patience to like stop and breathe. But the moment of just like Paul just like experiencing the desert for the first time and the spice and sticking his hand in the desert and seeing like the spice and the sand and I'm just like, I'm just watching a guy with a handful of dirt, and it's like the most beautiful, immersive cinematography I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, yeah. No, I mean, even before Paul and his family get to Arrakis, all the stuff on Caladan that leads up to the Emperor asking, Duke Leto and his family to take over for the Harkonnens, the relationship between Lady Jessica and Paul, and especially when the Spacing Guild shows up with the Betty Jeter sisters, the looks that Denis Villeneuve gives, or the direction that Denis Villeneuve gives Rebecca Ferguson, Timothy Chalamet, Josh Brolin, and Oscar Isaac. Just that storytelling technique, tells you so much without saying a single word. Like Father said, the small moments. It's just great.
And his use of scale, how he can have like
Thank you.
these giant like
Yep.
like that moment you're talking about when like the emperor's ship lands, like deliver like the message and everything, which is a scene like not in the book. That was like a creation for the
Right.
movie, but
Hmm.
like he's able to convey like that huge sense of scale, and so when you get to like Arrakis and you're doing like stuff like in the desert or with the worms and everything, and I don't know, Marcelo, I assume like the screening you went to was the same as mine, where after the movie they played a preview for part two. Did you see that?
Yes, I did.
So they actually showed this very iconic sequence. I don't think it's spoilery to say this, but Paul mounting the sandworm for the first time. It is, and Denis talks about so hell you're on mute.
Are you gonna mount the popcorn thing? I'm sorry, not you specifically. That's the question to everyone. Like, sorry.
Okay, I'm gonna remove myself from this
No, I'm
conversation.
sorry.
Now,
I'm
never
sorry.
mind.
All right, carry on. Carry on.
That
But
is.
it was so fucking and like Denis is like so he's like, when I was a little boy in Quebec, I was reading Dune, and I really liked Paul riding the worm. So here
The
I made it
worm.
into a movie, and here it is. And then it's like, oh, I got to see like the little 14-year-old French Canadian boy like do like his passion project in this big like $180 million budget, whatever the hell it is, like giant IMAX movie, and it's actually like
Mhm.
It's
shot with like
crazy.
a lot of like effort and
Mhm.
art and strong craft and looks really cool.
Yeah.
And it's the only movie that I think stands up to the David Lynch version.
Yeah,
which
I
I
mean,
thought of as the definitive Dune,
I mean,
like condensed version of Dune that you could get before.
I don't think it's a very good adaptation of the book, but it's an interesting movie. It definitely has strong cinematography. There's some very beautiful, interesting imagery in that movie as well, and some fun like Lynchian atmosphere. But Denis Villeneuve is also like, he's also a guy who's good with like creating like that atmospheric world when you're
right.
watching the movie. You know.
Yeah, I mean, I
You
love
know,
Blade Runner 1949. It's like so good. I mean, 20, what, what is it?
2049.
2049. Did I say
Is
1949?
Trev joining us?
I don't think so. He's making dinner. He's gonna try.
Yeah, no, and the sound
The
design, the
Commodore
music,
is gonna try.
the
I would like to visit with the Commodore.
right,
Oh,
the
Commodore. I don't know if you're
the
listening, but you've been
the sound
requested.
design, the music, and the brilliant thing that Denis Villeneuve did and his writers is that each one of these characters, you actually fucking care about each one of them. So so basically when you see the assassination of House Atreides, at the end of the movie, you want the Emperor to burn, and you want Paul to basically burn the world down for what he did to House Atreides. And it's just really, really good character plotting and great storytelling on Denis' part and his writers.
It's such a strong cast. Like there
Yes.
are a lot of big name actors,
Yes.
but some of them are like interesting choices. Like Jason Momoa as Duncan Idaho, and I'm a Momoa fan. I like Momoa. I think he's
Yeah.
good in Game of Thrones. You know, he
Yeah.
doesn't like Aquaman's an adequate superhero. I think
Mhm.
Aquaman's just as good as uh
Yep.
any I don't know rando MCU character, but him as Duncan Idaho seemed like kind of unusual, but that was like such a cool part of Dune Part 1. I loved the Duncan fighting the Sardaukar moment. And there's like when he goes down, I was thinking like, man, like in the book it said that they found his corpse next to like 16 Sardaukar, and I think he only killed like 8 or 9 guys. They should have had him fight more guys. And then when it shows him like stand back up and keep fighting, I was like, hell yeah, that's so cool. That's awesome.
Father, before we continue,
Yeah.
Ruben, welcome to the stream. How are you? Did you see Dune Part 1, the Denis Villeneuve Dune Part 1? He's playing a video game. Sorry, when you come
He's
back,
in
we just
combat.
that's the question. Yeah,
He's
in it, so
fighting
Yeah.
some Sardaukar
yeah.
right now. He's
He
got
is-
Sardaukar out the ass, out the
Uh,
wormhole.
he must have lost the game or something. I don't know what's going on there. That's very.
I got it. I won.
Oh, you won.
Oh.
Okay. Whew.
This game is like goes from like chill and awesome to sweat and balls. What was the question? Dune. I did see the first Dune.
Denis Dune. You saw
Yeah,
the
yeah,
and the
the
David Lynch.
new
Of
one.
course, you've seen
Yeah, I've seen
David
them
Lynch.
both. Yeah, yeah.
Did you see
Yeah.
the Sci-Fi Channel Dune? That
No, I saw part of it, but I didn't see the whole thing.
okay, I saw all of that and Children of
4
Dune.
years ago now. That was
What?
goddamn. The year 2000 was 24 years
Oh
ago.
shit, that was 24
Oh my
years ago.
God. I wasn't.
Why do you gotta make me
my-
feel old, Father? Oh my God, I'm so
No,
depressed now.
no. Why you gotta make? I'm getting flashbacks.
All right. So, anyways, so everyone's
middle
on.
school.
Have you, Marcelo, seen those Dunes? The
Well,
Dune
well, well.
miniseries?
The David Lynch one. I just sat down yesterday and watched it.
For the first time?
Yeah, and as someone who has
That's
loved
amazing.
Denise, and for someone who has loved Denise's version, I was like, I tried to contain myself from thinking in the back of my head.
You
It
can't.
needs to do
That's
better.
true. If you see this version of Dune first, you can't like
I can't.
appreciate. Like, I get it. I get it.
No,
You
but-
had to be there for the Lynch
Yeah.
one.
Yeah.
I loved the Lynch one as a kid.
That makes me sad. Does that mean that this is it? Like the Lynch one, whoever didn't see it
Yeah.
first is never gonna like love that one.
There are no incoming Lynch Dune fans. Like the number of Lynch Dune fans now will only go down as we die off.
Yeah, no.
It's like World War II veterans. That number is only going to go down. It's never going to go back up.
Yeah, but but with that being said, I just want to say just real quick, the reason why I saw it was twofold because I am a David Lynch fan. I love Twin Peaks, and I just wanted to see this film that sort of drove him nuts because I've heard that apparently this film has several cuts. He actually got it removed. He actually got his name removed from it at one point. From what I understand.
Yeah, they released the director's cut under the what is it, Alan Smithy, whatever
Alan
the thing
Smithy.
name.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah. So I was more interested in that aspect of it, but seeing characters in this version be played by more cooler actors in Denise version, I'm like, that's not my Duncan, Idaho. That's doesn't look right.
You know what bothers me with the Lynch Dune is I don't like the stuff that's like different from the book. I kind of hate. Like I don't like
Oh,
the weirding modules. I don't like the Bene Gesserit can like read minds.
yeah.
I don't like that what Paul can make it rain with his
Paul-
magic brain.
Magic break.
I don't like they don't like the book doesn't have that.
Okay, but come on,
Yeah.
like everyone here also knows about Jodorowsky's Dune. That would have been even more insane, I think.
Totally.
Yeah.
Like
Like-
Lynch's version is basically like a totally faithful adaptation of the novel compared
to the
to
Jodorowsky's
compared
Dune,
to that
yeah, it's
fucking
true.
acid trip fever dream of a movie.
Favorite dream.
I think what I like about Denis Villeneuve's Dune, though, is that it manages to be the closest adaptation to the books, but also managed to somehow homage all of those things. Like, I feel like he somehow brought elements from David Lynch's kind of weird, imagination, as well as like these kind of like the scale of what I imagine Jodorowsky could do if he were doing it, like that creature, and things like that. I don't know. There's just things.
I would have liked that movie more because it would have been such its own thing.
Right.
His explanation of not being faithful to the source material, of taking it and making its own thing. There's a more politically correct way he could have worded that analogy he goes on, which I don't know if we're allowed to repeat on this program. But it might be triggering for some people. But it literally might. I don't mean that sarcastically, actually. But I respect that approach as an artist. I think that is true. You can't just respect it and treat it, as like a sacred Bible. You have to be like, no, I'm gonna tell my story, and this is gonna be my. It's like the Emperor, my Arrakis, my Dune.
My Arrakis, my Dune.
Stress Free K is asking about Fade Ruatha, and interestingly enough, I'm
Austin
really
Butler.
excited because Austin Butler
I
is
watched that
going to play.
Elvis movie, and then I went to Tupelo, where part of it was set. But
I got
that's
an
good
image of
casting,
Fade.
I think he's gonna be good.
Yeah, I'm excited because I feel like there's going to be a lot of like he's going to be like really
be
frightening.
Weird.
Yeah, weird and
he's
frightening.
He's gonna be like real. He's gonna be like if like Jared Leto was good at acting, but I think he's gonna have like that weird energy,
Here, I'm going to share an image
I've been
for
told
you.
Jared Leto's a good
FFK.
actor, but everything I've seen him in, he was the worst part of it. The worst part
This
of
is-
Blade Runner, worst part of Suicide Squad.
This is from Empire.
He looks like
magazine.
Voldemort.
I'm so terrified for the princess in that picture. Jesus
Oh.
Christ, that's creepy.
Hey guys, Subspace Chatter says, "Hey guys, due to being in hospital with COVID for about a month when Dune came out, I loved finally having an opportunity to watch Dune at the cinema recently. Looking forward to Dune Part 2. Awesome. I'm glad you're out of that situation. COVID hits people hard. My aunt was in the hospital for like 4 months from what I guess COVID set into motion. So yeah, I feel for you, Subspace Chatter. Anyways, sorry about that. I didn't mean to get personal there. but yeah, that it's still around and it still affects people pretty seriously. But going back to Austin Butler on that note, Ruben, you're so. Are you excited about part 2? Are you gonna go see it? I'm curious. I have no idea how you feel.
I bootlegged part 1, so I'll bootleg part 2. I'm not a huge Dune person.
My man.
Yeah, Dune doesn't do anything for me.
No, Ruben liked part 1.
I like part. No, like visually, it was amazing. Like as far as the story, Dune just doesn't do anything for me. But visually, yeah. I mean, Denis Villeneuve is amazing. So visually, it was amazing. So that's why I'll watch it. I'll watch the second one. But as far as like the story, I'm like, yeah, whatever.
I actually thought about.
By the way, I just want to come on and comment. Subspace Chatter, please sign off of this stream because I just realized who you are, and I'm gonna block you. Thanks. Bye. All right, carry on, guys.
Powder is not a movie I've thought of in a hot minute. Probably in the 24 years since I saw the Sci-Fi Channel version of Dune. But I see Stress Free K pointing out, oh dear, he looks like Powder. What happened to his eyebrows? It is weird that everyone on Giddy Prime looks like this. But I don't know, it doesn't, like, I was saying, like, the stuff that, like, Lynch changed, it bothered me. Like, the stuff that Denis changes doesn't really... I would have done Giddy Prime differently, but his Giddy Prime is still cool.
Yeah, Austin Butler, he is, again, I'm going to say it again, he gives me early Voldemort before, his balls dropped and he had that high-pitched voice. Harry Potter come to die.
Do you think he's gonna have an homage to the Sting scene with the steam, where like he's emerging from the steam?
Oh, that was so weird.
In the metal bikini, I don't see that happening.
I feel like it should. I have another pic.
Can I read the quote?
Yeah, go ahead.
Boatwreck says Butler was so into playing Elvis, he can't stop saying, "Thank you very much," after sex.
Oh goodness.
Doesn't everyone say that after sex though?
No. Well, yes, maybe. There's other pictures of Fade from the film where he's wearing armor and like fighting with people. Is it okay if I put those up? Because I know, Father, you like to. I don't even know if you've seen the trailers or anything, right?
I'm okay with seeing. I mean, like I know the book, I know what's gonna happen, and everything. Okay. But I haven't been following this one as closely as I followed part 1. I've just been like so busy lately. But I mean, busy with some good stuff. We've been doing like some cool stuff on Tex-Trek lately.
Yeah, you have. Speaking of which, we're gonna transition to that in a second. I need to do a breakdown of your interview. That was pretty cool. Did you see it, Ruben? Were you watching the Doug Drexler? I can't talk. I've had wine. Sorry.
I watched a few, like 10 minutes. Something.
Very cool.
I was able to see about 10 minutes.
I'm so excited for Dune now. Just like looking at these pictures and talking about it. This is let me nerd out about this for a second.
Okay,
I haven't heard anyone else point this out, but I think this is cool, especially like after all the. I'm gonna be nice about this, but after everyone who tried to defend these Star Wars prequels by saying like, oh, George Lucas is doing like this cool storytelling method, the circle theory, and like all of that stuff, how like this kind of circular storytelling, how like these events kind of connect and echo and stuff, which I don't know if Lucas was intentionally doing something like that, but I think Denis Villeneuve is kind of structuring Dune Part 1 and Part 2 like that, how Dune Part 1 is kind of bookended with Paul having these knife fights, right? Early on, he has a knife fight with Gurney, and then at the end of the movie, he has the knife fight with Jameis, who now we all think of as Dr. Mbenga. But
right.
That kind of is good structurally because it kind of justifies like, oh, how did this spoiled prince be able to take down a Fremen warrior in a knife fight and everything? It's like, oh, because he like literally practices that like every morning with Gurney. But then in Dune Part 2, it will be kind of mirrored because the movie will open with Fade fighting a slave in the arena, which is something that that like happens in the book. It's going to be early on in the movie. I'm very confident. And then the climax of the movie, I don't know if this is spoilery, but you know, there's already several film versions out there and a novel out there. So if you don't want to know who has to do battle, but it's in the trailer, so fuck it. But Fade and Paul have a knife fight at the end of Dune Part 2. So
That's right.
the two movies kind of, they're both bookended with these knife fights, which is, I don't know, I think that was a neat way to split up the book.
Whose horse is clopping in the background?
Ruben's
It's
keyboard.
Ruben's keyboard.
Oh.
Clapping in the background there.
I have a couple of horses walking around on the ceiling.
Joel!
But that could
That
also
could
be the mushrooms I ate earlier.
Who's doing the toy line for Dune?
Oh, they did do toys for there was like that big fat Baron toy that I didn't buy because it was expensive, but it looked.
Because I saw this. I don't know if this is why is everything so small? Oh, that's funny.
What she said.
I was gonna say, that's what he said. Hold on, I have to do this. Man, the internet. All right, here we go. I can't. Oh, now the toy is not there, but there's so many good images. I got to share some more. Hold on. This okay. That little images of a toy, but this, where is it? Oh gosh, come on, Sohail, get it together. All right, here we go. I can't believe that guy thought he could come into my chat. I'm so upset. Like you have no idea how upset I am when I found out who it was. If you're still there, oh my god. All right. Anyways, I think I'm channeling Fade about that. Sorry. No. Anyways, but yes, I'm so mad. I'm gonna go time out myself. You guys talk about.
Yeah, I'm really intrigued with Fader Arthur, and I want to see if he's going to be like a typical psychotic assassin, or if he's going to have some deep dark secret as to why he became such a psychotic assassin for the Emperor. So I want to see if he's going to be what I think he's going to be, or if he's going to have some regret about the way that he is. So Father, you'll have to tell me if I'm way off the mark with that, or if I think that the pictures that the trailer has given me is what we're going to get with him, I guess.
I mean, he's really not like that deep of a character in the book or in any of the other adaptations. So I think they might have like a bit of freedom to, I don't know, add some substance in there.
Okay.
I think a lot of it will just be in. That's who's that guy on the right? Is that Austin Butler? Like, I guess that's a picture of him, like not in character.
Yeah, and I don't know. I like put it up for Dave Bautista and that outfit. Like, I think
you
put
cool. It up because he doesn't have a shirt on, but it does give us a good look, not just at that, but also of his brother in the movie, Raban, yeah. the Beast, Raban.
The Beast, Raban, yeah.
He's just supposed to be like dumb and strong. Batista's
it's hard to
good casting, I guess. I'm not saying he's a dumb guy. He seems like a pretty sharp cat in some interviews I've seen him in, but he can play this big dumb brute pretty well.
I think this is from hold on. Oh, why does this work? Hold on, sorry.
Why is everyone on Giddy? Like, what? Do you not grow hair? Is like the atmosphere so polluted, like hair can't grow?
I think so. Now here he doesn't look like as pale, so I don't know if this is from Dune, but it looks like the same kind of.
Yeah, I think this is just not black and white. I think the arena knife fight is going to be black and white. I actually know who he's fighting in the arena, but I don't know if it's like public knowledge. So I don't.
Let's keep some things secret. Yeah. All right, cool. So yeah, that's Fade. So before we go to that, I'm surprised Joel hasn't seen Wonka. It's like my favorite movie Timothée Chalamet has ever made.
A lot of people said it was good. Everyone who went and saw it, I think if it looked good enough to see to people, then it was like actually good. I don't know if it's like good enough to like win over the skeptics. I haven't heard like a skeptic say like, I thought it was gonna suck, but I actually really liked it.
Yeah, it was okay. As someone who grew up with the Gene Wilder version, I was like, okay, Timmy. Not bad.
It feels like a real prequel to that version, whereas the Tim Burton one feels like an alternate universe version of Wonka.
But you know that happens a lot. That happens so much. It's kind of funny. But these franchise properties that these corporate studios own, they'll do like some type of reboot, and then when fans are like, "Oh, I missed the old one," then they'll ditch the reboot and then they'll go back to the original continuity. It happens all the time, not just Willy Wonka, but like the Evil Dead did that. They did like this reboot and they're like, "Oh, let's just do a TV show with Bruce Campbell." A lot of times that happens. The Halloween movies kind of did that.
Yep.
There's one more image because I don't know, since we're moving on from Dune in a second to talk about Tex-Trek. Actually, I want to talk about Tex-Trek first, but I'm glad we talked about.
We can talk about Dune more if you got more.
Okay. Just one more thing before we move on, because I was so impressed with this premiere outfit that Zendaya was wearing.
People are bugging me about this. People know me as the Dune guy, and they're asking me explain this nonsense to me. I'm like, I don't.
It's not nonsense.
I don't know her wardrobe decisions. That has nothing to do with Dune as far as it looks like Gozer from Ghostbusters.
No, that's Maria from Metropolis. Yes.
Robot lady from
1929. Ruben loves Metropolis, if I'm not mistaken.
100 years ago. Hey Google, what year did Metropolis come out?
1927, if I'm not mistaken.
26, 27, something like that.
So
1927.
In 3 years and what date? The 13th. So in 3 years and 25 days, that movie will turn 100 years old.
Oh, wow.
Hey, Google, set a timer for 3 years and 25 days.
Sure, 160 weeks. And we're starting now.
Okay, so when that timer goes off, I'll know that Metropolis is 100 years old.
Now, I don't know if it's actually Maria that it's an homage to. I know that this is I forget the details, but I believe this is a couture piece that a designer made and that's been adapted for Zendaya.
The backdrop that they're standing on looks like the actual effects from the Sci-Fi Channel miniseries, dude. When Paul and Jessica are going through the desert before they meet Stilgar, it looks like that. They were walking around in front of a backdrop almost identical to that. It just didn't have the text.
It makes me think of Spaceballs.
Yeah. We ain't shit.
Actually, maybe that's what it is. It's
I think you're right about Maria, but the whole image, the robot on a desert.
And then robot, yeah.
And then to me it says Dunk. I know it says Dune, but it looks like Dunk to me. So it just adds to the humor of the whole situation.
If the movie had been bad and people didn't like it, everyone would make fun of it and call it Dunk. Like Fan Force Stick, it would be like that all over again.
Every time I look at the name,
dope as fuck. I need to watch Metropolis again because I want that as an album cover. It looks
Isn't that rad? Right?
It looks like a warlock has built a satanic robotic succubus and is about to sick her on Richard Nixon.
Salon Studios said the same thing. Hey, but that's awesome that we have Salon Studios in here.
Oh yeah, Dot Matrix is the Joan Rivers robot.
Which must be Stan.
Are they called droids and Spaceballs? What do they call their robots?
I don't remember. We should do a Spaceballs watch along. It's streaming somewhere, right?
Yeah, we could do. I can toss it on in the Tex-Trek Discord too.
Ooh, that's awesome.
I haven't been very active in there. I'm trying to get ready for the cruise next week, but when I get back, I'll have some stuff to watch in there. I'm sure.
Yo, Benji. What up? Look, we got a cool bunch of folks coming here. Thank you, because I was so shook. I was shooketh because my show was invaded by for a moment by a terrible person. Guys, don't even question it. Just don't follow. What was his assumed name? His what was it? Subspace Chatter. Block them now. Thanks. Just trust me, guys. You don't want to deal with that guy. No, PJ, you're obviously not blocked. But anyways, sorry guys. I will stop dwelling on it. Father, just stop me. Marcelo slapped me. Someone stop me. I gotta stop.
Yeah, no, I know. I just want to say, this picture looks awesome.
It does, right?
Yeah, it looks pretty awesome.
Did you see the version of Did you see the version with the jazz, like kind of symphonic score, or like the more classical score? Or
I believe it was symphonic.
I can't remember what the original score
I can recall
was actually, because I've only seen the version with the jazz score.
Yeah.
I'm gonna ask my friend who's watching at
I've only seen the original
on the text message audience.
That is kind of a neat idea. The people who come up with new scores for silent films. There's a lot of bands have like a lot of like metal bands. They'll come out with like albums to be like, yeah, we made this to like play when you watch Nosferatu and like stuff like that. Or I actually went to a screening of Nosferatu at the Alamo Draft House here in Austin, back when the Draft House was like a cool local Keep Austin Weird thing and not like a huge nationwide chain. But they had a band play their music to Nosferatu live in the theater as the movie was playing on screen. It was really cool. And they had really like some singing. They had like vocals, and it was like like at one point like she was like singing the lyrics backwards, and it sounded like, I don't know, like this weird like evil incantation. It was like very moody and atmospheric and blended very nicely with the images on screen. It was pretty cool.
Awesome. Robert Eggers, the director of The Northman, is doing a brand new version of Nosferatu.
I'm very, very excited for that. You know, I saw that Vampire on a Boat movie, The Last Voyage of the Demeter. It was just like about like the boat chapter of Dracula, and I was mildly disappointed in that. I was I don't know, I was expecting something like a bit more like A24, a bit more like what I think this Eggers movie will be.
Mm-hmm.
Then it just came out as like a bit trite, and I don't know. It just felt like a typical like Hollywood horror outing. Nothing. It wasn't like I don't know, that level of
a little hollow.
I wanted. Yeah. But Eggers really loves nautical stuff, right? Like there's like a lot of stuff on like boats and the Northman and the lighthouse and stuff. So I think he's gonna do like some. There's that is in Nosferatu also. The Death Ship has a new captain. That's like the most like badass part of the movie. I love that shit. So I think Eggers is gonna have a lot of fun with that.
Oh my gosh, how long have you been backstage?
Like 2 seconds.
Oh,
not
good.
Very long.
I didn't hear the
at
beep.
It's okay.
The Commodore's
Does
here.
It beep?
Thank
is
goodness.
it supposed to beep when someone shows up back there?
Yeah, it's supposed to go bloop. There's like
mine never does that. Were you around when I had like Larry Nemeczek down there and we were like
mine never does it either.
I know, and he was poor thing. He was like down there forever.
It was so embarrassing.
Nobody puts Larry Nemeczek in a green room.
We were like making fun of him for like showing up late. We were like, where's Larry? Are we ever gonna start? And like everyone was just like, oh man, like do we need to like check on him or whatever? And then like he's down there at the bottom, like, hello, I'm right here.
Yay, this is officially half the salon here. Does Stan want to come on? If you do, let me know. I'll send you a link as well.
Hey,
welcome.
I was gonna say, you guys were all talking about the intricacies of how the actual system works, and one of the beautiful things about being co-host is that I don't care. I'm never in charge of the technical aspects of the show. It's always Stan's running it, and I'm just there to be obnoxious. And
I'm the host, and I'm not in charge of the technical aspects of this show, so it's all good.
Yeah.
Cheers!
But
yay!
As long as I've been using StreamYards, when my guests are backstage, it never beeps to remind me. I always keep an eye on backstage
That's so weird
to be aware when my guests come in.
Yeah, I have to look up how to turn that on.
You guys, can I tell a weird story from this morning?
Sure, it's your show. Do
All
what
right,
you
so
want.
I was supposed to get to a photo shoot really early, so I'm like, okay, I was a little bit late, but I was still gonna be on time if I left, like really, like at it, like within minutes of like getting dressed and getting everything ready. And just as I'm about to leave, I see like a glisten and my cat like standing and meowing, and I'm like, uh-oh. And I walk over and I see that he's vomited like in 3 places. I'm like, oh crap, I can't do. And I always clean it up. Doesn't matter if I'm gonna be late. I usually do it, but this time I just left. And then I texted my sister, and I'm like, I texted her because she was still sleeping. I was like, hey, when you wake up, careful when you leave your room, because there's vomit.
There's cat
Arthur,
puke on the floor.
yeah, Arthur vomited, and she's like, "There's no, there's no vomit," and I'm like, "What? Like, that's not true. Like, I just saw it. Like, there was vomit." I thought, like, is she like messing with me? And I'm like, "No, no." And I guided her to where it was. We were talking on the phone at this point when she called me back, and she was like, "There's no vomit." I'm like, "Did he eat it? Like, he's never eaten his vomit before." And we both think my mom cleaned it because my mom would never, like, that's like below her. She's like, "No, I don't clean cat vomit or anything like that." So I was so confused, and all day it just kept coming in my mind. I had these weird thoughts, like was I like imagining that? Was I in an alternate universe? Is my sister gaslighting me? Like, what's going on here? Like, this is so weird. And then finally, guess who cleaned up? My mom. But for a moment, all day, I was just like questioning reality, and it was really scary. And then Aaron Walkie also tweeted a really scary tweet, and then that's it. That's my personal story. All right.
So you might not actually be this universe's Sohail.
Don't
That's
mind
correct.
fuck him anymore. He's gonna
Got it.
he just calmed himself down. You're gonna undo all the work he did to unpack.
But doesn't it?
I'm on my third Nana visitor margarita. I'm just here to stir things up.
What is the
What
recipe?
Nana-
That's
a
awesome.
Nana
Yeah, I was gonna
margarita?
say.
I'll send it to you. It's
Is she
quite
gonna be
tasty.
on the cruise?
And quite simple.
I will. I might be able to drink one with her next week.
I believe she is. I will not be, so I'm not monitoring as intently as I normally would. But
When I get back, so hell, we could do we can do a cruise debrief if you want.
Yes, I always loved it. It's kind of a tradition. How many years have I been doing them now at this point? Like, it's been a
I
few, right?
guess
Like 3 or
this will
4
be-
cruises.
This will
Yeah,
be 3 in a row.
I'd be honored. Thank you. Trevor, you looking forward to Dune, and your thoughts on Zendaya's crazy cool outfit at the premiere?
it was a choice.
It was a choice.
It was a choice. It was interesting to wear it to a film premiere. Like, if the film had been nominated for more, and she wore it to like an award show versus the premiere of the film. Like, it felt a little more.
She wore this to the premiere.
Yes, if she wore it to an awards show, that would have been different than if she wore it to the premiere. The premiere, I don't know why I make that delineation, but it just like in my mind, it would make more sense if she did sort of a la Cher has worn some crazy shit to awards shows and things like that.
Yeah.
But like a movie premiere it was a choice. It was a choice. I mean, she looks amazing. Don't get me wrong. Like she could wear a potato sack and would look fantastic. But she's, it was a choice.
I was totally on the Maria from Metropolis camp, but after Stan said Dot, whoever said, yeah, it was Stan, and then someone here said Dot too. I was like, oh yeah, that's all I see now is the Spaceballs. I'm still trying to pull up an image.
To me, I see Gozer, but I guess maybe I need to see a better picture than that.
I heard you. Yeah. I was listening earlier, and I heard you mention Gozer, and I agree. It has Gozer vibes.
Yeah, before I thought about Metropolis, my first thought when I saw that pop up on my feed was like, hello, good morning. And the second thought was, I was like, that's a silver still suit. And I was like, that's cool. But then I thought, oh, that's Metropolis, obviously.
It is
coming in with the hard-hitting questions there.
Metropolis. That would not be my obvious go-to. Would not be a movie from 100 years ago. But I mean, it does. When Sohail pulled up the satanic robot attacking Nixon, it did strikingly similar.
Yeah.
But I think the winner is definitely, here we go. Actually, this is definitely where is she? Hold on. I know what I did wrong. Okay, now I'll be able to share things easier. All right, here she is. I can't find a full body picture. There we go. Dot. Okay, that didn't work. I'm having so much trouble with the images. And you guys just like sit there quietly waiting for me. Thank you. Here you go. There she is. I miss Joan Rivers. She was fabulous.
Yeah,
I
we
need to watch Spaceballs again. I ain't seen it in a hot minute. Sorry, Marcelo.
yeah. No, I talked about Spaceballs on one of my podcasts last year. That's a funny movie.
Who was saying that like the Marvels was like ripping Spaceballs, like stealing air, like stealing air with a suction?
I haven't
you know,
seen Marvels yet, but like stealing air is not that. I mean, that happened like Total Recall and Galaxy Quest.
Yeah, I was
the
gonna
movie
say.
was
Well, so
talking
I was
about.
expecting that it kind of like it didn't ruin the Marvels, but it changed the tone of it for me because I was expecting something like Spaceballs, and it was actually just like very in universe like Marvel. It made sense stuff. So yeah, I'll leave it at that. But yeah, it was like I thought it was funny that people were comparing it to that. Nothing is like a vacuum cleaner Statue of Liberty sucking the air out of your planet. No one's ever done that again.
Do we have more Dune talk? Or do
Yes,
we wanna...
yes. Oh no, we don't have any more June talk. We're gonna break down your drug Drexler interview because I thought that was the cool drug.
It's a great name. It's a great name for a show, by the way.
It's
Dune
true.
Talk.
Dune talk. There you go.
Dune
oh my
talk,
gosh.
Yeah.
I
can talk about that, but just I mentioned the cruise a second ago, and I don't know if anyone's curious about that, I can talk about that too.
Yeah, that's next week, right?
Yeah, talk about it.
I pulled up the site with all the actors that are going on it to remind me who all will be there.
Who else has been on a cruise here for Star Trek? Have you been, Trev?
I have not. I will one of these days, but no, I haven't.
Marcelo, no, I haven't been, and
I have not, and I'll never go on a boat.
We're all virgins.
Ever in my life.
Oh, you won't
Thank
go
you,
on a
James.
boat?
No. Thank you,
Oh.
Thank you, James Cameron, and thank you, Steven Spielberg.
So hell, do you see my screen share thing?
Hold on, let me look over here. Yes, now I see it. I'll put it on the screen here. All right. Whoa, that's crazy.
This year's lineup. So the headliner, the captain is Sonequa Martin Green.
Oh my gosh.
But then we have Walter Koenig, Will Wheaton. So he doesn't do Creation Con, so he doesn't do Vegas, so it's kind of cool to see him somewhere else. Brent Spiner, Gates McFadden, LeVar, John Delancey, Denise Crosby for TNG representation. Then on the DS9 front, we have Nana, Armin, his brother Max Gradinchik, and his wife Chase Masterson. So we got some Ferengi family love there. Voyager, we got Robert Picardo and Garrett Wong, and then a lot of Enterprise boys: John Billingsley, Connor Trenier, Anthony Montgomery, Dominic Keating, and some disco with Doug Jones, Anthony Rapp, David Ajala, Mary Chieffo, Eve Harlow, who we haven't even seen yet. She plays the character Maul, one of the villains in Discovery Season 5. Michelle Hurd and Ed Spaliers, as well as Todd Stashwick. And does anyone remember Peyton List from Season 1? But
of course,
from Picard.
Incestuous sister.
And then we have some lower decks,
Oh my gosh, it keeps going. This is crazy.
Tawny Muslim, Eugene Cordero, and how do you say Gabrielle Rios. So that we have Tallinn, Rutherford, and Mariner, and then the non-actor people. Michael and Denise Okuda.
Oh my
I'm
God.
very excited to see them. I see them at Vegas, but I never have like a chance to talk to them. But like on the cruise, it's kind of easier to I don't know, mingle. Lolita Fadjo, she worked on the Berman era Trek shows. The science consultants Aaron McDonald or Dr. Aaron McDonald, I should say, and Dr. Mohammed Noor. And then the author Rob Hurlman. I don't know, he's a makeup dude. Thomas Serepina. I don't really know who he is. Band 47, they're just like the cruise band, and then they have a DJ also, DJ Larry. They have like some concerts. They also have like some like DJ electronic music. Oh, they have like this orchestra too. So
cool.
And that's the cruise.
That feels like the biggest one that I've seen you go on. Like, is that a lot of actors for the cruise?
Yeah, it is. And there's only 2 ports. There's normally 3, but it's doing a Curacao and Aruba. But
I
because
was
there's
supposed to be on this cruise, by the way, but I'll go next time. Yeah.
we'll both be on the same cruise at some point. I don't think I'm doing next year, but the year
Oh,
after
okay.
that maybe.
I want a Star Trek River cruise.
It's gonna depart from Miami next year. So
I
it'd be a good
know.
year for you to go. But
That's true. That is very convenient. That is
So
very
hell, that sounds
convenient.
like the Star Trek retirement cruise. The
I'm
Star Trek
sorry.
River cruise.
No, like like Trevor.
the
Do you know like the Viking cruises? Like in
Yes, I
Europe,
do,
like-
and everyone on them is my mother's age. I'm well aware because my mother's probably going on one this year, and that's what made me think. My mom is 73 years old.
That's awesome. We should do a double mother Star Trek river
We'll take our
cruise.
moms on a river cruise.
On a
love it.
river cruise that's a Star Trek themed.
All right, now
but
I'm in.
That's
hey,
insane.
this is really cool. Joel is reminding me in the audience that he and our friend Rachel talked to Denise Okuda at STLV, and I wasn't around them when this happened. I'm sorry I missed it, but Mike Okuda was going around taking pictures of the crowd so that he could use them in like special effects and like movies and stuff that he works on. If he needs to like CGI like a crowd of people.
Oh
Yeah,
wow!
cool.
He needs like reference photos.
So they
to
ended up
base his
being
work on.
in Star Trek. That's
No, well,
crazy.
no, I think he was using it for like reference photos.
Oh,
And
gotcha.
Probably for like other shows and stuff he's on, other than because he does like some special effects work on other things. But it was just cool that like I don't know, it just sounds like a guy who's like always working. He's always thinking about like effects and graphics and stuff like that.
Well, it's because I think he like genuinely loves it so much. It's like just what he always does. I feel like so it's cool.
He's been doing it since Star Trek. The Star Trek 4 literally came out the year I was born, 1986. So he's been doing it all my life, 4 decades.
I was listening to the Hobbit music, and I always forget that Leonard Rosenman, who did the music for Star Trek 4, also did the Hobbit music. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah, not Jackson's Hobbit, but the.
No, sorry, yeah, that's Peter. Yeah, not Peter Jackson. What is it, Rankin Baskin or whatever? I can't remember which animation.
The music, the music for the Voyage Home, I feel, is so underrated. It's so fun and so adventurous.
Like, speaking of the, I'm sorry, Marcelo, go ahead.
No, go ahead, follow it.
But like that main theme to Star Trek 4. Like if I hear that, like I smile. I just think like,
it's a good theme.
They did it. All those senior citizens saved the humpback whales.
It
just makes me so happy. It just makes me so fucking like just triumphant and happy, and we did it.
So moving, because we still have to talk about like other stuff, but I want to do an interlude. And talk about your Doug. I can't talk. Doug Drexler. Drex Dougler. Sorry, Mr. Drexler. If you're still watching this, I'm so sorry. But anyways, Doug Drexler's interview was so wild. I learned so much crazy stuff.
Drex
Drexler. I think you should have him on like as like a spotlight like every few weeks. He's awesome. I'm gonna invite him.
He did like that entire interview like standing up.
I know, and he had a parrot with him.
Yeah, he showed up. He showed up, and he was like, "Hi, sorry, I'm late. I just got off of a 3-hour Zoom call on some meeting for some job, and but I'm happy to be here. By the way, I gotta go feed my parrot." And then he was like on the phone, and busy dude. It was crazy, but it was
good.
Fun.
It was good. It was chaotic. It was too chaotic. But you learned so much, and he like gave his opinion on modern Star Trek, which like I didn't agree with him, but it was interesting to hear his opinion and to hear that like the way he was. I thought he was very like like honest, but also like he tried to be
diplomatic.
sensitive, diplomatic, if you will, which I appreciate. But like, it was interesting.
Yeah, no, I mean that's something really interesting because you don't hear a lot of people who were involved with the Berman era Star Trek, unless I'm living under a rock, give their opinion on Kurtzman Trek that often. Uh, so it'll be fun to hear that.
It was, well, I mean, it's just interesting because like what I gathered was that he felt like included in Star Trek Picard season 2 and 3, like, and I think that's something that like, you know,
what he said about Rick Berman and Terry Metalis.
Yeah, exactly. But you know what it made me realize is that like it's true when Star Trek uh 09 came on, and there's nothing wrong with this, like that's what makes those, and Discovery when it came back, like I think fans were in both situations kind of like surprised that there wasn't more involvement from like the people that made their Star Trek when they were kids or whatever.
That's
You
what
know what
I
I mean?
said in
Yeah.
2009, and that's what I said in 2017 with
Right.
with JJ
But now
and
with and
we
Disco,
corrected
right?
it though. They corrected that.
I
Mm-hmm.
don't know if it's like it was anything that necessarily needed to be corrected. It's just
Mm.
it was like just what it was. Like I think any production of Star Trek has a right to be its own. Like it doesn't have to include like
Yeah.
the past to be. I never felt like this until after I started falling in love with Star Trek Discovery, because I realize now what they were trying to do. Like that, you know what I mean? Like when it first came on, I was like, it's not, you know, sorry, I'm kind of all over the place, but Mike McMahon said this in a interview this week with Sean Farrick, where he was like, anytime there's a new Star Trek series, we all look at it and we're like, how is this going to betray me? Because we're so in love with the
How
Star
is
Trek
it gonna
series that we love, whatever it is, you know what I mean?
That's what
Yeah.
that's what Mike McMahon said when we interviewed him. Was
Okay, he said the same thing. I forgot that he had said it on
what
yours.
he
Yeah.
said was he was being sarcastic, but and I've heard him say this other places, but he said, you know, when you're doing a new Star Trek show, the fans are so welcoming. They love, you know, hearing whatever new choices, new creative choices you're gonna make. They're all like so excited. They're not gonna judge it until they see the first episode, and then they're gonna make like very like informed
And then they're gonna kill you.
decisions based off of it. And then, but you know, he was clearly being sarcastic. It was like,
Right.
yeah, like everyone hated me and thought like I was gonna ruin Star Trek and turn like their beloved franchise into like this dumb Family Guy cartoon.
Yeah. No, no, but for me, the oddest thing was when I heard that they were doing a new Star Trek series, and this was like 6 months before I found out the title, and I found out Alex was doing it. I was like, wait a minute, Alex is doing it? This should be Bob. Bob should be doing this. I'm talking about Bob Orsi, because between the two of them, Bob is like the bigger Star Trek head. But then Bob had the falling out with Paramount, CBS at the time, so that's understandable. So it's always a really, really big culture shock to me that Alex was the one that ended up shepherding this new era of Star Trek on TV over Bob Orsi.
I forgot who Bob Orsi was until you mentioned it.
Yeah. Nobody. Yeah. I mean, look.
But Robert Orsi was, in fact, the as you said, like the more Star Trek knowledge. Like he had the more like trivial
he was
knowledge.
more of the fan.
But
Yeah,
I don't know.
yeah.
I don't know. Like, see, I personally can't. Maybe Alex Kurtzman's a huge fan of Star Trek now. Like, you can catch up to Star Trek really quickly. You know what I mean?
That is
Like,
true.
But he was he was always a fan of like TNG, and like at some point he became like a huge fan of the animated series.
Yeah.
And we know that for a fact because our friend Aaron Harvey likes to collect a lot of the Star Trek TAS like artwork and film cells and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And one time Alex Kurtzman like outbid him on something on eBay, and he was pissed about it. He's like, "No, I really wanted this." So it's like so Kurtzman has some fondness for Trek. But
yeah, I don't think
Orsi
it's fair to
was more
compare who's a bigger fan, but definitely Orsi knew more trivial knowledge about Star Trek. I would say.
I think they would admit, like
Oh,
out
okay.
of that JJ crew, out of JJ, Kurtzman, Lindelof, and Orsi. Marcelo might remember this also, but
Yep.
on like the Star Trek 09 Blu-ray, they actually in like one of
Yep.
the special features, they rank it out. They're like, yeah, Bob is the biggest fan out of all of us, and then Lindelof, and then
Love,
Kurtzman, and then JJ at the very
JJ.
bottom.
Has Damon
Yep.
Lindelof done anything with Star Trek?
He did
Yeah,
the,
he,
the 3 JJ produced.
Oh, he was part of
movies.
that. I didn't
Yeah,
realize. Okay.
He was
yeah.
JJ's co-producer on all 3 of those.
Oh, but he
Mhm.
hasn't like done a new like Star Trek show or anything.
He-
Like
No.
No, he hasn't worked on any of the secret Hideout productions.
okay, gotcha.
No.
Interesting.
Yeah, no. And I mean, for me, the biggest dream for Discovery, that's probably it's not going to happen now, but for me, I always want, and this is just me from a selfish fanboy writer fanatic kind of guy, I always wanted Bob and Alex to do like an episode of Star Trek Discovery together, but that dream died a long time ago. So that's just me.
Fathery, and anyone here on your shows, have you guys talked about the episode titles for Star Trek Discovery yet?
We have not, but I only said like, oh, they're out there if you want to know them.
Have you seen has everyone here seen the episode titles?
I've seen them.
Do you guys
yeah,
care if I show them?
I would like to talk about them.
All right, I'm gonna pull this up. Is that cool, Trevor?
Hey,
Yeah.
I'm here for the margaritas and the chat.
Nice.
So
Yes.
you do whatever you
I
want.
have to go get a refill soon. Ruben, you don't. I don't know. I already know you don't care, but here we go. So this is. Oh, let's take off this banner real quick. There we go.
Can't see.
All right.
There you are.
Hey. So this is now from Trek Central. This graphic, and it shows the release dates of each episode as well as the titles, the episode titles. Have we ever gotten all 10 episode titles in advance? I always thought we get
Yes.
trickles. Oh, we have gotten them. Okay.
The reason why we have all of them is because the show was written so long ago that like all of these were on file with the Writers Guild.
Ah, I see. Okay. So April 4th, the premiere, parts 1 and 2, The Red Directive and Under the Twin Moons. I'm really excited about that one because could that be a reference to Capelius?
Possibly. I'm more concerned about the Red Directive possibly being a reference to Red Matter. Maybe it's like, oh no, Red Matter detected, and last time that shit created an alternate timeline. So
Oh.
it's like, almost like the Omega Directive when the Omega molecule was detected on Voyager. You might have slept through that one, so hell. But I think
Oh,
something might be
no, I
similar
remember
with
that.
Red Matter. I don't know. Just we know it's gonna be something from a Romulan ship.
Ah, I see. Oh, so maybe it'll give us some like, because those two could be tied together. Capelius, the whole synth thing. Like maybe there'll be another like kind of thing with. Oh, it's interesting.
I'm curious what like other like assets from other shows they'll try to like use on like that Romulan ship. Like I wonder if like that Tal Shiar disruptor from season 1 of Picard that then showed up in Prodigy, like maybe that'll be like laying around on that ship or something like that. Things that are like, already built.
Look, guys, our friend Cake is Eternal is here, so it must mean it's morning in Europe. So hello, good morning.
Spring, or in Spain.
Yeah, exactly.
I believe is 7 hours ahead of me, so it's like 6 a.m. Good morning.
Very cool. I hope you're having a nice. Is it desayuno with us? Very cool. So then, episode 3, which airs April 11th, is Janal. Any idea? I have no idea what that means.
I assume a proper noun.
Feels like a
Probably
name.
Person,
Name, yeah.
planet, or ship.
no.
I'm gonna guess person.
Does it sound like anything from other Trek, like Janal? Like, does that sound like anything we've heard?
Sounds like
Does
it
that-
could be a Romulan name.
Oh,
A
interesting.
Romulan name.
I'm gonna guess it was someone's loved one who died.
That's what
Probably.
that's what that strikes in you. That's interesting. I like that.
What if it's Grudge's real name?
Queen Janal. Ruben, anything Janal from past Trek that comes to mind when you hear that word?
I don't know why it makes me think of that episode with Riker and the was it the asexual, unisexual people?
Oh,
But I don't
interesting.
think. I think it's just a weird. My
Like
brain's
the
checking them.
Janal.
Yeah, because they're the Janai, right? Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
good.
So I
That's
think that's
good. Wow,
yeah.
Ruben. You know he falls asleep to like TNG every night, so it's like steeped into like it's there in his like
Get
mind.
into his head.
It's
Same.
somehow it's just all there.
Same. I fall asleep to TNG or DS9 every
Or
night.
DS9. That's so funny. So you guys have all this like information that's just like in there, which is cool. By the way, Trev, can you
Ingrained.
talk about what you guys are doing on the salon? It's pretty awesome, and I'm bummed that I haven't been able to participate.
Yeah, 100%. We're doing what we call a thumb war, which is basically going through each episode. We're doing one season of each series per week, and we've been doing basically rating the episode thumbs up, thumbs down, thumbs sideways, all 26 episodes of each season. And we're currently on Thursday next week, 6:30 Pacific. We'll be doing season 6 of DS9, and arguing and sometimes agreeing, sometimes not, about each episode and whether or not it's a thumbs up, thumbs down, or thumbs sideways. And yeah, it's a lot of fun.
And
Very
then,
cool.
and
Wait,
then
so
Trev,
you talk about all of season 9, whatever
In
season
one shot.
in one episode, and
We
just
run
just
through
quickly go.
somehow in either slightly over or just under 2 hours, we managed to get through an entire season.
Okay, that was my
uh,
next question. How long does this
yeah.
go for? 2 hours.
Yeah, our aim is always under 2 hours, and sometimes we miss that mark because we are a excitable group of slightly intoxicated Star Trek fans.
y'all
Well,
do pretty good
2
job
hours is good
controlling
though
the
too,
pace.
because it's about 22 episodes a season, 25 episodes. Do about 8 minutes per episode. That's pretty good.
Mhm.
And it's so like you guys do a pretty good job, and it manages to still you guys there's still tangents and stuff and fun, but yeah, it's good.
Yeah, we'll be getting back to our regular format in 2 weeks when we transition over to just doing recaps of Discovery seasons 1, 2, 3, and 4 leading up to the premiere of 5. But yeah, it's the idea of a traditional podcast or YouTube show is to do the show you would want to watch, and we don't do that. We just are friends that get together to talk and sort of argue about Star Trek. So it's a lot of fun.
That's because the inspiration is from a Lower Decks episode, which showed like a kind of ritual called the Salon or whatever, a gathering called the Salon.
Hear all and trust nothing. Yes,
Exactly.
where Mariner was dragged to a social event that she thought was just a party, and everyone kept calling it a salon. And so, as a fun little riff on that, that's what we called the show. But the show is actually a spinoff from you, Sohail, from your Twitter Spaces, and so we owe a lot of thanks to you for not only bringing us all together,
which that show is a spinoff from the original Starfleet Boy After Dark, which was also a spinoff. No, just kidding. Everything's a spinoff.
It's basically like the Star Trek universe. It's just spinoff after spinoff after spinoff.
I appreciate that. I'm honored. You guys are the DS9 to my TNG for sure. I love it.
Well, what's particularly fun about it is that off air we all adore each other, and we owe. You included, and we owe our friendships to you. So thank you.
Oh my gosh, thank you. Oh my gosh, I wasn't expecting that. Now I have to mute myself so that.
Oh Lord, I've given him a human emotion.
Episode 4, Face the Strange. That I don't know why the Jim Morrison comes to mind in the song. This is the strange. Or no, People Are Strange. Yeah, that one. Not This is the End. Although that could be good too for the end of Disco.
This is the end.
But
that
anything
song has got to be expensive. I don't think they're gonna. They might have like a cover to it. Yeah, it'll be like a slowed down version on like a piano with like some like sad woman singing.
I'm gonna guess that this is gonna be a crossover episode.
Ooh.
With Strange New Worlds.
Well, that would be really obvious because of the word strange in there, but maybe that kind of would be cool because like there's definitely time travel available. There's definitely ways that, maybe a message needs to get back in time. I don't know, Disco might be going big on their last season here, with some of these like things. So who knows? But to do it in episode 4 means it might even be kind of lighthearted. It could be a lighthearted episode that like kind of breaks the tension of the first 3 or something like
It
that.
sounds like there will be some lighthearted stuff. It sounds like
Yeah.
they kind of learned from Strange New Worlds and like, oh yeah, we should do some funny, goofy stuff too.
Discovery has evolved every season, and that's one of the things I love about the show is that it kind of all of the Star Trek shows do this, but Discovery is the most like I think bold about it. Like it does it the most dramatic, in the sense like they're like, oh, okay, maybe this wasn't working. F it, let's go 900 years into the future. Let's see if that works, and it did, and it's amazing.
It's not afraid
Yeah.
to change.
Yeah,
course.
Discovery deserves a lot of credit. I mean, Discovery has been through, to put it nicely, hell or high water, and it's really, really amazing to me that it lasted 5 years. Although I wanted it to go 7, but 5, I'll accept that.
You know what? Stress Free K's pointing out how like the titles were so cool in season 1, like the longer titles, The Butcher's Knife Cares Not for the Lamb's Cry.
Yeah,
That's a
very
really great title.
TOS, yeah.
But that's because it took place in that time period, and then as Disco like moved forward, it also evolved its titles.
They evolve into
yeah.
boring TNG one-word titles
yeah.
like Mirrors.
Yeah, what is Mirrors gonna be? Is it gonna be another? It's got to be a mirror.
I don't want it to be a mirror episode. Like let's move past it.
I assume it will be. Like every time they use the word mirror in a Star Trek episode title, it's a mirror universe episode. It would be kind of weird if it wasn't, but I'm not saying like I'm advocating for the mirror universe episode, but I'm not like anti-mirror universe either. I'm mirror universe agnostic. I don't care if they want to tell a mirror universe story, cool. If they don't want to, that's cool too.
What do you guys think in the audience? Mirrors? I don't know, because they put the S at the end, and that makes me it makes me wonder if it's actually gonna be something different. Like I don't know,
be a multiverse of mirror universes.
Oh, there you go.
They can't go to the mirror universe from the 31st century as they established in season 3. So
hang on. So Fathery, that what did you say, Ruben? Sorry.
60 Micah Burnhams fighting each other in a CG shitstorm.
That could happen, like in the Matrix. Didn't that happen?
It'll somehow look worse than Matrix Revolutions.
That was Reloaded.
But you just gave me a thought. If Face the Strange takes place somehow, like through timey-wimey methods on Strange New Worlds, then Mirrors could be something to do with the follow-up to whatever Giorgio's story was, like with the whole, like maybe there could be a connection with like her being sent back in time and all that.
Pilot.
I don't think it's gonna connect to the Section 31 stuff in
Okay.
any way, because I feel like they did their setup for that in season 3.
What about if Mirrors indicates that Michael Burnham, for some particular reason, went back to the pilot, and she didn't commit mutiny, and she wasn't responsible.
I don't want them to undo all. No, that's not a cool. But if she's like, if it's not real, but she sees it and like the consequences of undoing it, that might be interesting.
No, but I'm not talking about undoing the Vulcan hello. I'm just saying,
like It's a Wonderful Life thing.
Yeah.
I'm down with that. Yeah, that's kind of cool, actually.
I'm not talking about undoing anything. I'm just saying.
All right. I got mad. Sorry.
Thematically, that would be a good thing to do in your final season. Of course, they did not know this is the final season when they wrote any of these.
Right. That would be interesting, though. I actually like that a lot. Now that I get what you're saying, Whistle's Peak. No idea.
Also sounds like a location.
Yeah.
Sorry, Father.
I think it's gonna be like a city or spaceport or something.
Whistle's Peak. Maybe it's like shaped in such a way that it whistles.
It's where the crew goes to find fried green tomatoes in the
future. Fried green tomatoes.
So there was
shout out to the Whistle Stop Cafe. Sorry.
Dave's mom is in that movie.
What?
Really?
Dave's mom is the old lady in the diner in that movie. Yeah, they shot it close to here, I think.
Wow.
I love that movie.
Hey Google, did they shoot fried green tomatoes in Austin?
Sorry, I don't understand.
Yeah, this is
But I found something
dumbass
similar.
piece of
Do
shit.
you want to know where to
No, stop. Oh wait, I did want to know that, but I don't want to deal with you. I won't do that on my show, but I'll come on after dark and say, "Hey Google stuff," and then
I'm
anyone
glad that
listening
has
with a
no
Google
effect in
device,
my
yeah.
house. That has no effect in my house because it's all the other things.
Hey Siri, when did
Oh, F you.
where
I'm going to mute
was
you. But all right. So Erica, which could be like Erica, which could be an
Erica.
Orion version of Erica.
To Eric.
Oh,
Erica.
it's kind of Irish sounding.
Erica.
Erica.
Yeah, I have no idea what that could be at all. I'm gonna skip that one. Do you guys have any ideas for that one?
Well, if it's the girl that I lost 2 years of my life on and almost horrible things to me, but she did inspire my short, so thank you. But I'm really that's an interesting title. I always get
Erica.
excited when episodes are named after people. Like my favorite episode of D Space Nine early is just called Dax. So
Oh yeah, that's a great episode though. Dax.
yeah.
I think Erica is what Klingons call butt sex.
That is, I can actually ask Callie what the Klingon word for butt sex is, because if anyone would know, they would know.
Callie would know. That's true. I loved being schooled in proper Klingon, and the fact that there are people that know Klingon.
Sorry. In fact, like I am scared to ask because I don't want to deal with the conversation that might spark of the floodgates of information that I might receive.
That's that's right up After Dark's alley, no pun intended. So I'm gonna actually reach out to Callie and see if we can have that guest appearance at some point.
Ohio, right? So
yeah,
it's like
no, future episode. Not
it's
to,
after.
I can't
after
send out
midnight.
like last minute episodes. Like
You can send invites through Facebook Messenger now if your StreamYard's connected to your Facebook.
What? It is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't have advanced. Oh, I do have it. There it is. Oh, cool. Okay.
Or you can.
You know,
just
it's like one of those
copy
things where
the
you don't
link and
notice
send it whenever you want.
before it's before. But okay, so after that we have labyrinths, which could be like, I have no idea. And then Lagrange point is like some kind of technical term about being in orbit, I think. I've heard it.
It's essentially a gravitational parking space. You can plant a satellite there or a space station in a Lagrange point. For those of you who are fans, Babylon 5 was positioned in a Lagrange point of the planet that it orbited.
Oh. Yeah. There you go.
There's also a Lagrange, Texas, close to here where I am, and it had a very famous whorehouse that the rock band ZZ Top made a song about.
We have to see that later. Life Itself is the last episode of Star Trek Discovery as they wrap up their series finale with that episode, which actually... It could be the last two episodes, could be the series finale, but definitely the last episode. Although they seem to point out, well, this is Trek Central's thing, not an official thing, but they seem to think that season 5, episode 1 and 2 are going to be a single event. So
I think that's been confirmed.
Oh, okay, cool.
And I assume that's what they're going to show at South by in when is
South by Southwest?
11th.
That's right. I forgot that it's premiering. Did you get a ticket yet?
I am talking to Paramount. I think they don't have things finalized yet, but
okay.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully I get to see the screening, or perhaps even go to the red carpet, and I don't know. I might get to do some press stuff there if I'm lucky. It's South by Southwest is a huge thing, and it's kind of like all their press badges are already like sent out, so something like I had no interest in trying to get access to until they announced Discovery was going to be there, so it's kind of tricky. But if Paramount can get me there, I'll be there. Who's
the commanding officer here? I guess it's Commodore Trev Do you know what Make It Show is? Do you remember from Starfleet? Did you ever? You never watched Starfleet Boy After Dark, the old series, right?
I don't. Did I?
Maybe. If you did, then you know that Make It Show is. I always actually think you were on it too for some
I don't
reason.
think I
but-
was yet.
He's
I think
gonna
I was.
make you acting captain so that he can
Yeah.
go to the bathroom and get a drink.
Exactly. So Make It Show.
What? Do you keep your drinks in the bathroom? I'm confused. I don't know what just happened.
He's got 2 stops. He's got 2 stops to make before he comes back.
2 stops. That's not. Hosts don't make 2 stops. You get 1
Well-
stop, and you do it while people are
Yeah.
talking, not while you're transitioning topics.
I mean, you're
Yeah.
the captain now, so I
Yeah,
guess
you're
you're
the
Well,
captain.
then I will be captain by consensus. So where shall we go, gentlemen?
I think it'll be just a really cool thing to get everybody's opinion on what do they want out of this final season. That's just me. So we'll start with you, Fathery, at the top here.
No, great question. I kind of liked season 4 of Discovery when the show had the confidence to kind of slow down a little bit and I don't know, like do like talkier scenes than it would have done in earlier seasons. Like, oh, we're just gonna stop and have like a Federation Council session or debate the sentience of this computer and stuff like that. I was like, oh, earlier Discovery I think wasn't confident enough to kind of, you know, slow down and be talky like this. It always wanted to, you know, just pack in as much like action adventure and I know we're gonna get like a lot of that, and I'm cool with the actiony stuff, but I hope that they're still confident in the slower stuff and are still able to do that in season 5 as well. That's what I want to see.
Trev?
Honestly, I'm just really jazzed that we heard about them bringing everyone back to do sort of a proper epilogue to sort of not just, you know, throw in a scene to wrap the series, but actually give everyone a reasonable conclusion. For very selfish and selfless reasons, the relationship between Stamets and Culver is really, really important to me. So I hope that they just sort of end on a happy note. And I kind of want of everyone, because I would love it if, you know, Burnham continues as captain of a vessel, and so does Saru, and like everybody's career kind of takes off. I kind of want Stamets and Culver to just retire to Puerto Rico and call it a day. Just because their lives and their relationship has been so turbulent because of all of the comings and goings of you know the different adventures of the Discovery. But not selfishly, I like the idea that everybody gets a little bit of a wrap up and a conclusion. But Sonequa, was it Sonequa? No, it was Tawny Newsome. Accidentally, maybe, or on purpose. Confirmed that Academy does take place in the 32nd century. So maybe we'll get to revisit some folks, and maybe we'll even get Tilly on Academy, which would be fantastic in my opinion. So I hope everybody gets an.
Sorry.
No. I was just gonna say I hope everyone gets a conclusion, but with a door to perhaps be seen again.
I love the idea of having Hugh and Paul on Earth at the end of Disco. Because then it would be so easy. Academy wouldn't have to do much to explain, hey, here's a cameo.
Right.
No,
Yeah,
I think on the same wavelength as you two gentlemen, because I know Ruben doesn't give a crap about Discovery. I want this final season to just be fun, and I want it to be fun and also a little bit introspective, like the best episodes of TNG for me. Although I do like the pew pew action adventure of what Star Trek Discovery has become sort of famous for in past seasons. So I do think, to go off of Father's note, a mixture between TNG and the pew pew fun stuff that Discovery is known for, I think would wrap it up pretty nicely. And just from a selfish point of view, I mean, I know the season is done already, but I would really like Alex to have a writing credit on the finale with Michelle Paradise. He probably does, but I would really like him to have one because I personally have felt that he hasn't been directly involved with the show from a writing aspect for a very, very long time. So, which makes sense because Michelle Paradise is probably, you know, uh, took the reins after he started developing Stranger Worlds. And,
Well, and the show's gotten better since he stopped writing, right?
yeah. I mean, yes. That too, Ruben.
I had to. It's too easy.
You just had to do that, didn't you? You just had to do it.
He just took that sword off the wall and just stuck it right in your heart.
Yeah. So that's what I'm looking forward to. The other thing that I would like in the future is if they would actually do like a TV movie of Discovery. I think that would be really, really nice. But we'll find out what the future holds.
Yeah,
What
I
do
think
you-
if Section 31 is successful, I think even moderately successful, I think they may go the route of making more of
Right.
these streaming films.
Yeah.
At least I hope they do.
It's
Assuming the sale goes the way it's supposed to, and
Mhm.
all of that.
it's interesting, like the business model with the made for streaming movies, because like with Max and Discovery Warner, David Zaslav was like, no, we're not gonna make any movies for streaming. I'm gonna throw those movies away as tax write-offs or put them in the theater. Why am I gonna make a movie for a streaming service? How do you make money on that? The people don't sign up for streaming services to watch these like random made for streaming movies. But other streaming services, like I know Paramount Plus has done like some other made for streaming movies, and doesn't like Netflix make a lot of its own
Mhm.
movies and stuff. So
Yes.
I don't know. I don't know. Is there going to be a
Yeah, but
future
they're-
in that,
I mean-
or is Zaslav right? Is it going
I
to?
mean, my theory is that none of these streaming services are making money. You can't make money with a TV show or a movie for
Mm.
$15 a month. It just doesn't make any sense. And then people can cancel whenever they want. So
Right.
a lot of people, what happens is there's churn.
With churn, yeah.
You get people who sign up to watch the show they want to see, Discovery, whatever, and then they cancel as soon as it's done.
Mm.
And then that
there-
doesn't pay for Discovery, like it just and all the
Yeah.
other stuff that's on there too. So that's my
Yeah.
theory. That none of these things are making money. They
It
all
does
feel
operate on a debt.
Yeah, it does feel like we're starting to see the squeeze though, of where like
Yeah.
everybody that had an idea and two people with a handful of money could come up with a streaming service, and suddenly we're seeing the squeeze where a lot of these streaming services are starting to merge together. So does
Or
that create
they're
another
adding
explosion again, or
commercial-
does it create an implosion?
Right, or they're adding commercial tiers.
Yeah.
That's why you get the carousel of where's this movie streaming today? Because
Yep.
Warner Brothers needs to make some money, so let's license out all our Batman movies for 6 months to Netflix to make some money, and then that's why you get this madness of where a movie is any given time. That's why you get Yellowstone on Peacock, even though Yellowstone's the biggest show Paramount actually has, but it's streaming on Peacock because of streaming deals, and it's insane. It's just completely insane.
And I
Yeah,
think that's a big
also-
motivation. Sorry, Marcelo, but I
No,
think
it's
that's like
okay.
a big motivation in the talks of merging Peacock with Paramount Plus and the story that came out today. I think a big part of that is with Yellowstone, because it is Peacock's biggest show. It is owned by Paramount, and Paramount's other biggest shows are their Star Trek, but also their Taylor Sheridan. That's Taylor or Tyler? What's his name?
Taylor
But
Sheridan.
he does all those Yellowstone spinoffs and like his other stuff. Which, Paramount like wants all of it now. They won't let him make. He's got like exclusive deals. He's only going to make stuff that's streaming with them. But his biggest one is still the OG Yellowstone, right? As far as I know. So it makes sense that they would. Hey, we both have like a struggling streaming service. Why not join forces? And
Right. The other big elephant in the room that not a lot of people talk about. I mean, Ruben sort of alluded to it before. Like a lot of movies that I want to see, and a lot of movies that I talk about on my shows, on my YouTube channel, or wherever. A lot of them are much older films, and 99% of the time, I have to get them through other means to talk about them or to do shows about them because they're not available on any streaming services that I have, and I'm not, and I'm not in a financial place to where I can just, rent a movie to talk about it. So I have to, um, become a pirate, and that's something that I have been dealing with over the past year or so. So I think piracy is another problem that streamers aren't considering, as to why their numbers aren't what they would like them to be. Um, you know,
But
Yeah,
Well, and we
Robert
also
is
have
right about them not making money. Like I think by the
yeah.
end of this decade, by the end of the 2020s, there's only going to be like 4 popular streaming services, and they're all going to cost $25 a month.
Mhm.
Well, and the other inevitability is that they ultimately, no matter what, the price of the subscription always has to go up eventually.
right?
It can't
Yeah.
stay $10 a month or whatever it is
Yeah.
forever because
Mhm.
making the movies costs a little bit more money. So even if you're making smaller, like Netflix does a lot of made for Netflix movies, but they're mid-budget movies, 10 million,
Mhm.
$20 million movies, which is manageable. Every once in a while, they throw out if you notice, they've been doing it less and less. The movie like Red Notice, where they spent $200 million just to have The Rock, Gal Gadot, and Ryan Reynolds in a
Right,
movie
no,
together, in a movie together,
Mhm.
as a prestige film, And then you also have the other caveat too of like streaming services like Apple and Amazon don't have this problem because they don't make their money off of streaming services anyway. They make billions off of something completely different. So they can kind of weather the storm and figure out how to do it the best out of anybody, which is an interesting kind of dynamic
right.
moving forward.
Yeah. No, I think the streaming game, despite what some other people may say, is fairly new. And I think that at this point, Hollywood, at least the big studio systems for the ones that have streaming services, they don't know what works. And the only thing that they're concerned with is raising prices and keeping their shareholders happy. But I think that goal is short-sighted because there's only going to be so much that your general household will be able to take before they go, okay, we can't do this anymore, so we're going to churn, like Ruben said at the start of this discussion. We're going to hang around for this show, and then we're going to cancel it, and then we're going to move on to something else. So I think if streaming services got smart, what they would do, and this is probably something that a lot of people would rebel against, is that they start making their subscribers sign contract for about a year or two, and I think that would um, slow down the rate of turn, but the rate of churn. But that's a little bit too aggressive in my mind because
I
that's
I think what every streaming service should do is have a free option with commercials, so that you make revenue off of the commercials.
Doesn't
right.
Pluto TV do that? Is that what their thing
Pluto,
is?
Pluto TV is one of the most successful things Paramount has right now.
Mhm.
Oh, it's the
Funny-
Paramount thing. Oh wow.
Yeah, they own it. They own the majority of it.
Yeah, because they're all over the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
Shit,
Pluto,
yeah,
and
that's
Pluto
right.
TV makes great money and that's another reason the live sports is such a big deal for streaming services, because live sports makes an F ton of money from commercials too. So if you offer your streaming service for free with commercials, more people will watch it, and then you can make revenue off of the commercials and not have to worry so much about the subscription levels. And then you add tiers of, okay, get rid of commercials for $5, whatever,
To answer your question, Cake, this is Glenn Levitt or Levitt. Glenn Levitt.
Glenlivet.
Yeah, it's delicious.
But if
Glenlivet.
you're on the Pluto kind of topic, if you're a weirdo like me that just likes to have background noise on in the house, like my TV's almost always on, and I work from home. So when I'm in here in my office, the living room TV is still playing Star Trek on one of the Pluto Star Trek channels.
That's awesome.
And I'm just sitting in here having no idea what's going on. But when I go out to grab some water or I go out to grab lunch, like I watch whatever episode happens to be on. So it's, not to plug Pluto, that's not why we're here. But it's in terms of whether the business model also meets the sort of fun demand of fandom, I think it checks that box. But sorry, Sohail, I was in command and I broke everything. So
no, it was like I didn't want to come back because I was like really interested in the conversation. You're like such a better host.
And then there's the interesting dynamic of changing because right now the primary viewerships are Gen Xers, Boomers. Younger generations don't watch TV the same way we grew up watching TV. So that's going to be a complete paradigm shift in how these streaming services are. Because you see, actually, Netflix is starting to move into video games. Disney has no video game component, which is a big problem for them. Apple has Apple Arcade now. Amazon has Amazon Game Studios.
That's true.
So it's going to be interesting to watch the shift of what I think is going to be less shows as we know them, kind of scripted shows. Because the reality shows are always going to be there forever because they're so stupid cheap to make. And they have great turnaround.
$12 and
and for some reason people watch it. I actually tried to watch one today called The Traders on Peacock. My brain is just not wired for those shows. I can't watch any of those kind of shows. Just 5 minutes into it, the whole way it's edited and the music and the presentation, I'm just like, it all irritates me. It's like, oh, this is all so fake, pretending to be real.
The Traders plays off like a parody of a reality show. Like it doesn't even. I tried. I gave it my best shot because I love the host, but I was just like, what the hell is this?
Who's the host?
Alan Cumming.
I've never watched this.
Alan Cumming.
Alan Cumming, yeah, he's great.
Oh, he was Nightcrawler in X-Men. I know he's done other stuff, but I can't think of anything that I've seen.
Yeah, he's delightful, but the show is dreadful.
Oh, it's like those Bachelor things and all. I just can't. I know some people love it.
I'm in a weird streaming service conundrum because most of them that I have access to, I don't pay for. So I'm like, oh, okay, great. I have all these like streaming service like where I'm a user on someone else's account. You know what I mean? Like,
right. No, like half of the services I have are mine. Like I share.
But they're trying to crack down on that, right? Like Netflix doesn't allow that anymore or something like that. I forget what's happening.
A bunch of them. It's not just Netflix.
They're
I think
trying, of course.
Yeah. No, I mean, I do that too. I have my pirate ship full of people who leech off of my Paramount Plus, my Hulu and stuff like that. But actually, what we do is each person on whatever streaming service that I'm attached to, we actually take turns paying the bills every month. So it's not, you get free stuff forever. If you want to be on one of my streaming services, you have to pay let's say you have to pay our Netflix for a month or
that's a good way of doing it, especially if like someone who was saying that streaming services should actually be like $20 like per a month or something like that. That's crazy.
That's gonna happen. That's inevitable.
Oh my god!
But the smaller ones are gonna die off. There's only it'll be like it's gonna be like Disney.
What? Oh, okay, Disney.
Whatever the Warner Brothers Max or whatever they're gonna be calling it, and Netflix. And
Amazon, I guess, is that there to stay? Because it's always
Amazon
there.
Prime probably will always be there.
Okay.
Amazon is not going to go anywhere.
Because I like it. I mean, Lord of the Rings is amazing. Whatever.
Apple will survive because they're like, I mean, they don't need their streaming service. So
I was going to say, I need Apple to survive because I need For All Mankind to continue to exist.
But that's a Sony produced thing. Like,
also,
For All Mankind could one day
it could go anywhere.
Somewhere else.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because it's Sony's property, as far as I know.
Yeah, I really adore For All Mankind. I don't think For All Mankind gets enough love
Yeah, I'm
from-
behind. I need to watch the rest of season 4. I've only seen the first 3.
I finally made it to like episode 5. I'm working on it. I'm
Of
gonna
what?
make it, but I
Of
still
what
haven't
season?
finished.
Still in season
Voyager.
1? Are you still in the
Yes.
60s?
I am,
Jesus.
and I haven't finished Voyager.
Oh my
I'm
god!
such a
What?
loser. I haven't finished
Voyager?
Voyager. I'm so-
Hey, Sohail, why don't you do this? Why don't you, since once Disco season 5 is over, we're probably going to do a thumb war on the Salon of Voyager. You can try to
are?
catch up as we do. Yeah, you can catch up when we do that.
Okay, I'll try my best.
That'll be your homework.
I love Voyager too. I'm really enjoying it.
Yeah.
It's just I don't know. I feel like maybe I'm one of these people that just doesn't want Star Trek to ever end. So I want one day there to be the possibility, like, you know, whatever. I'm like super old, possibly, and I'm like, is there any new Star Trek? And it's like when
You'll
the
be
Dark Ages.
possibly super old, so how one day you will be super old. Like
Oh,
that's just a foregone conclusion.
Well, unless I'm in my android body,
You're already super old. What are you talking
I
about?
am pretty old. It's true. We need to sit Sohail down and tape his eyelids open while we make him watch.
You do
Not wrong.
you do the TNG thing where you cover every episode, and I'll be on it.
Yeah.
I'm doing. That's what I'm doing. I'm covering every episode of Star Trek. We're already almost done with the animated series, which, by the way, tomorrow is BEM.
Oh yeah, I'll toss it on in the Discord.
Yeah, thank
We'll
you.
have some
That
Saturday
was fun. I
morning
woke up in the
cartoons.
morning. I was cuddling with my cat because Arthur comes and cuddles with me in the morning because he wants treats. And then we were watching the Orions or the Orions with Fathery in his Discord. That was very cool. I'm so glad you and Ruben, I think, was responsible also, right, to help activate that Discord. Was he consulting you as well, or was it someone else? Ruben's like a Discord supercharge, like a Allspark for Discord.
I helped Father set up his Discord. I mean,
yeah, I've only known you since the third grade. You
credit,
didn't help me set up my Discord. Thanks.
Oh, well, if you look at your Discord, you'll see that I'm the only one who posted in there for 4 months straight. I put Star Trek memes almost every day for months and months to see if anyone would actually respond. So I would put random Star Trek memes.
Well, anyways, the point is it was so much fun to do that. And if you're a patron, tomorrow there's a patron watch. It's not too late. You could get in on the $2 level, right, Fathery?
Yeah, come in as little as $2. And
this sounds like a commercial, but I swear that was organic.
That'll get you into the monthly watch parties. We have additional perks if you can afford to be more generous, but the $2 helps us. It adds up and goes a long way. But yeah, we're going to be watching. If you didn't get enough Valentine's Day love this week, we got you covered. We're gonna have a romantic episode of Star Trek Voyager. Someone to watch over me, in which the Doctor teaches 7 of 9 how to date.
That's right. It's a good episode.
Wow.
I saw that one. That's the other problem is I watch Voyager at night when I'm going to bed and I fall asleep.
Why do you do that?
I love Star Trek and I want to have
version,
new. That's why I want new Star Trek.
I
want new Star Trek when I'm about to fall asleep because I want to dream about it. It's like
fall asleep to TNG because then you dream you're on the Enterprise D and it's much safer than being on the Voyager.
It's true. I do that too, but
you're basically trapped on a 24th century Hilton.
I think Sohail probably does what I do, and he's too busy, and so he puts off I need to watch the show, and so he puts it off to the last thing he does. And then he's just too tired and can't stay awake through
it. Guys, there's 2 more topics that I had for tonight. One is Deadpool 3. Can I show the trailer? Because I heard Disney doesn't take it down. Are you guys all cool if we watch the trailer for Deadpool 3?
Yep.
All right.
No. I'm kidding.
Talk amongst yourselves while I pull it up. So tell me what you guys are thinking about. Just raw thoughts, Deadpool 3, while I pull this up. Go for it. Whoever wants to go for it.
All right. Well, Deadpool is going to prune the disaster that Marvel has become. So thank God. Yeah, I'm done. Oh, he's going to do so much cleaning. I'm so excited. Good Lord. The first 10 year of Marvel was so.
Oh, you're telling us. Okay, sorry. I was going to ask you this question.
No, but I just want to say one thing. The first 10 years of Marvel was so good, but everything after Infinity War, to me, doesn't it just hasn't been the same. Like
What
the
a
first
hater, bro! This guy's such a hater.
yeah. Like the first 10 years, if you look at them, like the first 10 issues of shut up, Rubik. Shut up. The first 10 years of Marvel, if you look at them like the first 10 issues of Marvel were great. But everything after Infinity War to me has been such a misstep, to put it nicely. But that's my piece. What do you guys think?
Everything after Infinity War, every single Marvel release after Infinity War you've not liked. I find that hard to believe, Marcel, because I remember you liking some of the stuff. Okay, some of the post Infinity War. Okay, anyway, sorry. Carry on. Go ahead, carry on while I pull this.
No, well, Captain Marvel was lead up to that. I did like some stuff post Infinity War, but I just haven't gotten that feeling of excitement that the first 10 years of Marvel gave me.
And you're saying this trailer reignited that like hope for you? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay,
Because I believe that this film is gonna wipe the slate clean for the new direction that Marvel wants to go in, whatever that is.
Everyone's been saying this, but I don't think that's what's going to happen at all. I think that's interesting that you think that that's going to happen, but like everyone was saying Loki was going to do that, and
people
it didn't
say that
do
about
that.
Everything. Whenever like people say that about like Star Wars, they're like, oh, they're gonna like reboot.
Ruben's so funny.
They're gonna like Ahsoka's gonna like reboot the Dave Filoni's gonna undo the sequel trilogy, or like what was another one that they thought that was going to happen on? Like in Star Trek when they're gonna.
Oh yeah,
they're gonna undo Discovery. It's like.
I was probably like Discovery's gonna undo Discovery in the beginning in the first thing, because I was in that state of like, oh my god, this is not what I was expecting, but I love it now. But that's beside the point. I'm not trying to say Marcelo has to love anything, and Ruben was putting up a hater banner because I don't know why. Do you keep up with Marvel, Ruben? I didn't think so. Yeah, I was like, what do you even like? Do you even?
I'm just talking shit.
Yeah, it's like whatever.
I don't think I haven't watched a Marvel movie since. Well, I guess Werewolf by Night counts, right? Does that count?
Yeah.
There you go.
That was the last thing I ever watched.
The last thing I ever watched was Everything, and I think the only thing I didn't like
was Black Panther.
The only thing I haven't
watch
liked
every Marvel thing, but you won't watch every Star Trek thing.
I know, it's weird. The only thing I didn't like was I'm a fake fan. The only thing I didn't like was the one that I had the most hope for was the what was it even called? Secret Wars. I hated it. I thought it was so stupid. Yeah,
I
don't
know
waste
a
your time.
single person who liked it.
Yeah, it was terrible because if you're gonna put Samuel L. Jackson on a TV show, it better be fucking outrageously amazing, and you better put all the money in it. And it didn't have any of that, so I was super disappointed. Anyways,
it had the money for sure. Look at that budget, baby.
No, they used AI for the credits. I could have done it.
Look at the budget.
That was called money laundering, and hopefully.
Oh no, I agree completely.
It's called
I
money
agree completely.
But anyways, here's the trailer, guys. Here we go. Okay.
What is this the trailer for?
Oh, this is for Deadpool 3.
Oh.
Here we go.
Hey to you.
All right,
okay. It's been a challenging few years, for sure. But I'm happy. That is because of each and every one of you. I'm the luckiest man alive.
Make a wish, buddy.
Wade Wilson? Who's asking? Whoa. Is that supposed to be scary? Pegging isn't new for me, friendo, but it is for Disney.
Miss Wilson, you appear to have soiled yourself while unconscious.
I wasn't unconscious. Who are you? Why am I here?
Walk with me. Wait. You are special. This is your chance to be a hero among heroes.
I smell what you're stepping in, Sensei. Your little cinematic universe is about to change forever. I'm the Messiah. I am Marvel Jesus. God, please! Oh my God! God, I love this part. Wait! Don't just stand there, you ape. Give me a hand up. Nope, I'm actually okay. Thank you very much.
There you have it. That's so cool that Disney lets you play trailers. I wish Paramount let you do that. That would be cool. So I love the Deadpool series. I think they're hilarious. I've always thought they were also very filled with heart in a weird way. Like they're like so crass and weird, but they're so also very, touching in a really
have
weird
heart.
way. Like
They
yeah,
have
they have a
heart.
lot of heart. That's why I think I like John Cena's what is it?
Peacemaker.
So
Peacemaker,
it's
yeah.
I
similar.
fucking love James Gunn. I love that he's doing the DC stuff.
So
hope
I'm
Warner
really
Brothers
excited about this, but
sucks
I
all the
don't
time.
get why everyone's like thinking this is gonna reset the MCU.
Because
Like,
the TVA, because time travel, because Deadpool 2 ended with him like.
so who's this character
I
Paradox?
mean, he literally says in the trailer, "This is going to change everything."
I know, but I think it's just hype. I mean, Deadpool trailers always hype up it's part of the meta-ness of Deadpool to hype up Deadpool
But
and
it's
to
part
make
of the marketing of the movie. It's
of
like,
the
oh,
movie. Yeah.
y'all want a movie to come like make y'all think Marvel is cool again? Well, here's your
Here
movie.
it is. Yeah, like I don't think it's. I mean, it might be that movie,
And it's
but
the only movie they're putting out in theaters this year. It's their only one.
oh, really interesting.
Yeah, they're giving themselves a break.
Yeah.
We get
So
Go ahead.
yeah, but at this point, Marvel, and this is for someone who, I mean, I know I sounded very enthusiastic and very passionate at the beginning here before you play the trailer, but I've lost all faith in Marvel. So,
Wow.
so
I just like I can't believe it's that bad for you, Marcel.
yeah,
That's
yeah,
crazy.
yeah.
Wow.
That's
So
why.
the
That's
first
why.
10 years
That's
were great.
What about Moon Knight? Moon Knight was so cool. You didn't like Moon Knight? What? Oh my gosh, really?
This guy's such a hater, bro.
He is. He's kind of a hater. I'm gonna say it.
No, but you know,
I just love Leslie
look,
myself.
look, I just want that. I
A
just
warm
want.
blanket to be wrapped. Like, do you want to be in the warm
Yes,
blanket of like
He
men?
wants to be in the Nexus.
Is it the women? Do you have a problem with the women? No, I'm just kidding. I know you really don't, but I just like
No.
to say that because it's true. A
No,
lot
no,
of people have a problem with the women. I'm like, what's wrong with you?
The MCU, bro.
No,
I
no,
love the MCU. More
no,
MCU.
but I want one Marvel movie to actually entertain me from a fan perspective and from a writer's perspective, and I feel that I haven't gotten that in a very, very long time, and that's why I have a really strong feeling, although it's probably not going to be like this because
I like this era. I like this era of Marvel because the movies have been like super like kind of out there and weird.
Yeah.
And like
Yeah.
I get it. Like it is like why aren't we like with our beloved Steve Rogers and all those guys? Because like yeah, you kind of like But I kind of like this whole like exploring other characters, and now that the mutants are coming into it, I'm even more excited because I miss the X-Men. I love those X-Men movies and stuff like that.
Right.
So,
Mhm.
but I think overall, I would be happy if the MCU just chilled out. I like that this is the only movie they're releasing this year. It means other movies are going to have a chance to breathe, so to speak,
Yeah.
other types of movies. So this might be a good thing for Marvel, actually, that if it chills out for a while.
To
Yeah,
pause for a
yeah.
bit.
Yeah, here. Well, here. I will just tell you something really simple about the first 10 years of Marvel that I really liked, and maybe this will try to convey what I'm trying to say. The first 10 years of Marvel, every movie was accessible to an individual who didn't read comic book movies, right? And if you were a comic book nerd, you got really, really, really excited about the references to the Avengers and the possibility of having an Avengers film one day. But every Marvel thing now feels like you need to have a encyclopedic knowledge of the Marvel universe, and I think that is alienating the audience, and that is what has been making me angry. And the fact that since the end of Infinity War, we've had no direction. No, there's there's been no clear goal of where the hell we're going. Okay, I'm gonna just relax and let you guys talk because I'm gonna.
I'll jump in because I actually agree with you because there are certain Marvel properties that I'm very, very interested in and others that I'm not. But I feel like if I don't watch every single one, I don't understand what the hell's going on.
Yeah,
And you can be you can love Star Trek Voyager and never have watched DS9.
Yeah.
You can't watch a Marvel film and not have watched them all, lest you intend to miss certain
Right.
That not was all working. Of them. I mean, you can still enjoy a movie, but like if you want to enjoy every facet of it, every aspect of it, you have to have that encyclopedic knowledge and have watched every film, because every fucking post-credit scene, mid-credit scene, Easter egg has something to do with the next thing. And I'm like, oh my God, I officially don't know when this movie is happening or who these people are.
And that was Stan Lee's plan all along. That was how he designed his Marvel Comics shared universe. He wanted to have like every issue references like 3 other issues.
Wow.
And he wanted kids to be like, oh my God, I guess I have to go read the Hulk to understand what's going on in Fantastic Four.
Which is great when you're motivating children to read. But when you're trying to make an adult buy a movie ticket, like, I want to resurrect him, scream at him, and then let him pass peacefully again. Like, it's so annoying.
Well, and you end up, it's funny because you end up with the same result in both mediums.
Yeah.
Of a convoluted as fuck story that doesn't really make any sense
and now
or have any point to make.
Now
yeah,
they're
and then
having to like reboot their continuities.
And you get viewership burnout.
It's fucking
and it also
repeats itself.
It also invites one of the biggest conundrums of comic book films, which is that comic books don't translate well to film. So when you try to make the film less like the comic, you have the devout fans who are like, fuck this, it isn't like the comics.
They basically,
and then you have the mainstream fan who's like, I don't understand because I didn't read the comics. And so it ends up being, we all end up feeling like Marcelo.
They basically need to go from serialized to episodic.
Marcelo's a hater.
I think.
I love you too, Ruben.
I think Marvel's the greatest thing that's ever happened to cinema.
It's a brilliant. It's brilliant conceptually, but in practice, I do feel like I'm not permitted to be a casual fan.
Yeah,
I don't know.
All I know is I fucking love Peacemaker and I fucking love Suicide Squad.
I do too.
And I'm here for James Gunn to make as many DC movies as he wants.
Father, you're like quite lit right now. I love it.
This is only my second beer.
Oh,
take.
nice.
Why
That's okay.
am I slurry? Why
No,
do
no,
you
no. I meant like lit, like you love James Gunn.
Oh, I
like
thought you
a
meant
lot.
like, I
Yeah.
seemed like I was like drunk or like fucked
No,
up
no,
or
no.
something. Like
Lit
you
is
said,
like
I'm
a good
half in the
place.
bag or something.
Lit means you're in a good place.
See,
Like
where I come from, lit means you're drunk. Like
really?
Yeah, like if you're like, man, like he showed up and
I
he was
think lit
already
is
half
buzzed.
lit when he got here.
In Miami,
seen-
lit is buzzed when you're.
We've seen you much more. We've seen you much more luminous in Vegas.
Yes.
Yeah. I glow
seen-
much brighter.
Yes.
I have seen what happens in Chicago stays in Chicago.
Which birthday was that?
Which
20,
birthday was that?
No, 30 something. 37?
Shiitake.
36?
I'm heading for 46. I'm excited. I'm gonna cross
Oh, you're a year away from the big
for
one.
my 47th
Oh,
birthday. I wonder what Star Trek miracle will happen on my 47th birthday. Like I gotta make wishes.
As a Star Trek nerd who is 47, nothing happens.
Did you make a wish? Did you make a Star Trek wish on your
Well,
birthday?
my
I made
wish
all
came.
of the wishes.
Oh, you did make wishes. What is your Star Trek wish so we can
made
know
all
it? We
the
can try to scheme to make it happen.
What is my Star Trek wish?
Yeah.
That I could skip all this bullshit and go 400 years in the future.
No. I'm sorry. Like, what would be your wish as a Star Trek fan? Like, what's a unfulfilled Star Trek fan wish?
Oh, there are far too many.
But
There are far
what's
too
your like? Maybe like what comes to mind right now? Like as I asked you this question, like
I've always wanted there to be and it could be a limited series on Mount Cock or whatever Paramount becomes when it merges with
Mount
Peacock.
oh my god, that's the name.
I didn't
What?
write that, by the way. That was not my
Peacock and
joke. I just
Paramount?
borrowed it.
Okay.
I borrowed it,
Is that a
but
Stan
as
joke? That sounds like that came from the.
I think it was Stan actually, but
That's
as
amazing about cock.
as an out and proud gay man, I love it. I'm gonna fucking use it whenever I get the chance. I would love a limited series, the Bajoran Resistance Chronicles.
Ooh.
Hell yeah.
I want V meets Star Trek. So I picture you don't know who these people are, you don't quite understand what's going on, and all of a sudden a giant ship is seen in orbit and it's the Cardassians showing up at Bajor. And the resistance is formed and fights, and it's wonderful, and I just that would be my dream Star Trek.
I can't make that wish come true. So let me rephrase the
I know.
question. Like, what would be like a fan wish, like as an experience as a fan that's not something that involves like millions of dollars of production to create a show? like would you like to go to this like for example, go to the next Star Trek cruise, that kind of thing? Like, you know.
See,
like-
I would love to do the cruise.
I thought your question was like, what would be like your
Yeah.
like,
That's what
No,
I thought too.
thank you.
Now my
Thank you.
question's less cool, right? Like it's lamer.
It
way
is.
less
Your
cool.
question's
Way
now
less
lame.
I-
No, I'm kidding.
Trev, thank you for answering the question incorrectly and making it better than whatever it would have been if you had answered correctly.
you were
It's all I'm
almost-
here for.
You had like hundreds of viewers when he was answering, and now you're in the negatives.
I'm trying to-
Somehow the negative viewers.
I'm trying to make
People
my
have bailed out.
47th year be the year that, because like my fan dream came true. So I want to give.
Honestly,
I want to try to make
after-
your fan dreams come true.
I don't think you can, but after the amazing interaction I had at the autograph table, and then bumping into her at the casino and having a fantastic conversation, it would be dinner with Nana.
Ooh, that can happen actually. She
in theory.
she hosts them. No, she's
Yeah.
hosted a few. Oh, okay.
No,
Yeah,
I heard
but
she has dinner every night.
She's extraordinary.
She is extraordinary. She's awesome. Okay, Mama Nana dinner. All right. Oh wait, dinner, Mama Nana. Okay, cool. What about your fan wish, Marcelo?
Yeah. As somebody who's about to celebrate a birthday, I'm about to turn 36.
Oh wow.
So
You're also young.
let me just preempt this. Let me just preempt this with saying I love this guy, but I'm just gonna say this because he's gonna probably make fun of me right now. Shut up, Ruben.
Wow.
I
That's
would
like
love,
how
I was
Shut
gonna
Up,
say
Wesley.
you turned 37. You said
no 36.
36. Oh,
36.
so young and so full of hate.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I would no, actually I would actually love to shadow Alex Kurtzman around for a day.
You would like to
and-
meet
and-
Alex Kurtzman? Oof.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. All right.
And
Alright.
and prick his brain
Prick
on
his brain? I don't think
no,
he's gonna
actually,
like if you
sorry,
prick his
sorry,
brain.
prick, no,
That's not a
pick
good
his
thing
brain.
to
Sorry,
do.
I'm
pick
gonna
his brain.
fuck Alex
I,
Kurtzman for a
want
day.
to prick Alex Kurtzman's
No,
brain.
Hey,
no,
what if
I want
you wake up tomorrow in that reality where you're shadowing Alex Kurtzman, but you find out he was fired from Star Trek like 7 years ago?
Audience, if you're still hanging around, what is your Star Trek wish too? By the way, I'm
we've been
curious.
ignoring their comments.
Yeah, no, I've been putting up on the screen, but
I've been ignoring them.
Yeah, there you go. There's the
Benjunium asked us 10 minutes ago to talk about X-Men 97.
We will. We're gonna get back to it. I promise, Benjunium. I have that marked actually as a banner.
We're doing Star Trek wishes though.
Yeah, things you gotta break the topic a little. I want to finish Star Trek wish because I'm really curious about this. Because I also want to know Ruben's because I don't think he has any more Star Trek wishes. I don't know.
Did he just say his was for Alex Kurtzman to be dead for 7 years or something?
Did you just say that and I missed you?
I did not.
Okay.
I did not.
Okay, I was gonna say what? I
didn't know you were wishing me you would be fired. I didn't even say that.
Okay, all right.
I was making a joke about how he's been fired several times.
Okay.
Gotcha. Yeah, I was worried. No, I didn't hear. And how did I hear it? That's the weird part too. Anyways, but
wait a minute.
I might selectively hear.
Sorry. I'm sorry, guys.
Yes.
I thought of a better one that probably will never happen. I would like Ronald D. Moore to come back to Star Trek
that'd be neat. Maybe
and possibly
that's a cool
and
wish.
possibly maybe
But that's also
impossible. Possibly, be an executive producer on a show or create a show for a couple of years until he gets bored and hands it off to someone else, because I think that would be really cool to see his sensibilities within this new Star Trek playground that
it would be really cool because
now.
You said Ron Moore, right?
Yes, Ronald D. Moore. Yes,
it would be cool if he did something similar to Star Trek that he did for Battlestar Galactica, and just kind of
a gritty reboot.
A gritty reboot, yeah, that would be awesome. But
that was
cool.
That was his idea.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, that'd be really neat. But
or let him do the Klingon Game of Thrones series that everybody keeps chattering about.
He could pull it off. I would watch it if he were behind that.
He's a Klingon guy, so yeah, let's do it.
That's interesting. That's a good wish.
I have thoughts on that. Maybe we'll save that for.
Should we go to Ruben next, or Father? I'm gonna save your wish for last. So, and then wait, Benjinium in the audience, his wish was Strange New Worlds cast orgy. I really like that wish, but I don't know if I can make that wish happen.
I'm totally on board if all the women were busy.
But the Strange New Worlds meme is that they're the sexiest cast.
They really are very sexy. It's true. It's true. Good looking cast that Strange New Worlds. Ruben, your Star Trek fan wish, like going to a convention, going to a Star Trek cruise, like something like that. Because I can't make Alex Kurtzman hang out with you, or a new show, or anything like that. So
I want to shadow Marcelo shadowing Alex Kurtzman.
You want to watch?
You
want to watch?
I was gonna say that is my wish.
Ruben stole your wish. That's so funny.
You stole my joke.
No, I mean, I guess everybody here. Father's gone on the cruises and met a lot of people too. But since I worked conventions for so long, I've met Shatner, Brent Spiner, Marina Sirtis. I've met all of them, so I don't know
what's left.
What sort of wish I would have.
Are you like me? Have all your Star Trek wishes come true already?
I mean, I would have liked to have met Nimoy, but I met Adam Nimoy, so I guess it's, second best option. Yeah, I don't know. I would like to go on a Star Trek cruise. I think it would be an interesting experience to see what it would be like.
All right, let's talk about You and Me next year. It flies out of Miami. It goes out of Miami next year.
And it's a Royal Caribbean ship, right? Oh,
yeah.
It's still exciting.
Just spoiler alert, Sohail, they don't fly.
Well,
It's true.
most
That's true.
starships don't
Stay.
It
land,
sails. It
but-
sails out on a 3-hour cruise. Ruben, you and I could do for costume night. You and I could do a Star Trek version of Gilligan and the Skipper.
Oh, yeah.
I'd be so into that, and I think
they're
it's
gonna
like
have sci-fi night on the
There you-
cruise this year, where you're encouraged to like dress up as sci-fi of like a non-Star Trek. But
oh, okay.
I'm not gonna participate in that. I do exclusive Star Trek cosplay.
All right, let's see what happens. That's a good wish. I like that wish. So that's a wish that I could do. That might be a new. I might have got a new Star Trek wish. That's awesome. There you go. Because that hasn't been fulfilled for me. Father, what's your Star Trek wish?
Oh,
It's
mean-
not the Fifth Element show.
for a long time, it would have been, I guess, like getting to talk to Ira Stephen Bear. Or, like,
But you
getting
did that?
Getting him on our show. We did that last year. I think. Well, no. I have like a bigger dream. If we're gonna go into like getting like shows developed, I have a big one then. But I want a limited series sequel to Deep Space Nine.
Yes, that is actually
And
great.
I will fly. I will quit my job, sell my condo,
What?
sell everything I own, and move to wherever they're shooting this, and like help them build. I'll work construction, building the set, do whatever I can to make it as perfect as possible, and build a recreation of the Deep Space Nine promenade
Oh
with
my
Quark's
gosh.
Bar, and then do this Deep Space Nine limited series with Nana Visitors and Armin Shimmerman, and tell a story set sometime like after Picard season 3 about General Kira is the station commander, and she's having to deal with a Bajoran government that's gone really extreme and radical, and now as someone who had to go through so fucking much and become a revolutionary and a freedom fighter and liberate her people, and then have to deal with the Federation coming in, and then having to deal with the Dominion War, and then having to deal with like going to her oppressors and train them how to be resistance fighters, and then fighting their revolution and deal with like all that shit. And then she's constantly faced with the Huey P. Newton quote of the first rule of a revolutionary that he must learn is that he's a doomed man or whatever. It's like, you know, like Kira's basically like, yeah, like I never get a moment's of peace, but like I made that choice a long time ago, and I guess I'll put out another fire, fuck it. And she's got to deal with her own government and the Bajoran people, and redeeming those radical right wing elements of Bajor that we saw in like season 2 in the Circle trilogy. So it's kind of like already set up. Dealing with that as kind of her like final struggle, as her final battle. I think that sends like a very Star Trekian message of kind of self-reflection, which is it was always meant to be kind of a stories about humankind and how we can do better and deal with our own demons and improve ourselves so that we can have the brighter Gene Roddenberry future.
That sounds great. Who do you get to write it though? Who's your
That's
showrunner?
amazing.
The showrunner would be me and Ira Stephen Bear, and
That's
You
so
guys-
Okay.
we're both like white dudes, so then probably like I would get I don't know, some like queer women of color in there to add some diversity, and I don't know, like whoever, like we'll have a diverse writer. I would want people who like some old school writers, but also like some new people.
Okay.
a mix, a nice little mix. That's
Yeah, a
cool.
healthy mix.
Yeah.
Wow, but then what's your fan wish that I was talking about that maybe I could help happen? Because I'm so glad we got that on record, by the way.
After
'Cause that's really-
Father and I have broken the question.
It's it's true, but that was worth it because you guys. That's good. But you have no more fan wishes? Like you don't want to be in a Star Trek, maybe? Like, is that not a wish anyone
My
wants?
fan wishes are by the end of the year to have 1701 subscribers on YouTube.
Ooh, that's a
and,
good one.
if we get the Spotify rating up to 4.7, right now it's at 4.3. So I get like a few. If anyone listening can give a few 5 stars, if you just go to Tex-Trek on Spotify or on Apple Podcast or both, and then the YouTube channel if you can subscribe there.
All right.
Have the dash. It's Tex-Trek.
So the other topic I had was, do you guys watch Junkball on?
Junkball Media.
Yeah, do you guys
know
watch
him,
that?
right? You talked to that guy, right?
Yeah, we're like pals, kind
Yeah,
of.
I've never
Cool.
interacted with him, but I like
He's
his work.
I've been watching him since I think he started his channel, which is like
He
a
used to
long
be in that
time.
group chat that we had, the old ass group chat.
The disaster group chat. Thanks for reminding me.
I never
hated that
saw
group
the
chat.
disaster. I
So
just saw it.
such
No
a
one told me
disaster.
what happened.
That's why
asked.
I don't do group chats except for a limited few. That's the only reason
Okay.
I'm in very few group
Well,
chats.
I don't mean to like stir up old drama.
Thanks,
Sorry.
it's alright. It's such a disaster.
Yeah. Actually,
He cracked Twitter in like 2017.
Yeah.
It was.
Wild West days.
It was
back
the
then.
Wild West.
Oh,
It was so weird. It was so weird.
it was
I
a
miss
whole
Kent
different
Walski.
world.
Where's Kent Walski? Has
Yeah,
anyone
Kent-
seen
yeah,
Kent
yeah,
Walski?
what-
Man, Kent
yeah, yeah.
Walski and Midnight's Edge. And just
Where did that
Oh, no,
guy
all
those
that
guys
go?
shit, all that nonsense.
Screw Midnight's Edge. They could go to whatever.
I was the first one who like spoke out against them.
I know. That's why I'm on your side here. There was a lot.
Yeah.
It was weird. It's a constant. It's like what Captain Pike says. Like we were always fighting for the future. So
What
yeah.
did Jon
Mhm.
Stewart say
That-
on his return to the Daily Show? He said that you can't take a day off. It's what do you say? It's like a lunch pail job. You got something you got to do every day.
Oh yeah, exactly. Yeah, I saw that. That's true. It's true. It's true. He's right. You get comfortable, like where you don't have like a maniac president for 4 years, and you think
Mhm.
everything's going to be okay, but you should have been working hard during that whole time to prevent maniacs from coming back. So yeah, we have to work extra hard. So it's true. But I don't know what I was talking about there. We try not to get too specific here on Starfleet Boy After Dark. Keep it lively. But I want to talk about Junkball Media because I didn't know about this. Did you guys know about the new video that dropped today? Did you guys watch Junkball? Does anyone?
I have not seen the
No.
new video. I did not see that in my YouTube notifications yet.
So the title is Star Trek Borg: Complete History of the Forgotten Movie, and I was like, what? Like that's like that title is kind of like like a little bit like
Talking
Ominous?
about the Vegas thing?
No, it's the game. The
game,
well,
the
but it's
PC
not a
game.
game.
old
It was
game.
John
never.
Delancey's in it.
Yeah, but it
right?
was never marketed as a game. Apparently, it was always meant to be like a kind of a light choose your own adventure kind of, but a movie, and it has like a whole story and
Yeah.
I was like, now I want to watch. And someone
It's
has
on
upgraded.
YouTube.
Yeah, but yeah, exactly. Someone has upgraded the game footage to HD now, and so you could totally watch it like as a movie. So I'm totally gonna watch it. But yeah, so I just want to say go check that out because Junkball Media is just awesome, and their theme is one of the best themes I've seen on YouTube. Their like main focus theme. It's so cool.
Oh, their theme? I thought you talking about.
Yeah, like dun, 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 dun.
The theme music he took from Friday the 13th Part 3.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah. Mhm.
That's from Friday the 13th Part 3?
Yeah, and the opening, like right when it plays the repurposed footage from the end of Part 2, when it shows it shows Jason kill the girl at the end, then it
Are you
plays the
allowed to
theme
play
song.
other people's YouTube videos? Because I wanted to show you the theme I'm talking about,
Okay,
just to
yeah.
make sure. Are you?
Yeah.
Is that's allowed, right?
Probably.
Okay, let me pull it up. Hold on. Let me see a good example of it. Hang on.
I'm still stuck on the Star Trek wishes thing. I would actually I'd like to interview Ronald D. Moore, and I would pick that guy's brain on Outlander and how he got involved with that and how he put together the room for that show. That would be really fun. But who knows if that's ever going to happen?
Oh, sorry. I'm trying to listen for the theme. I'm going to mute myself.
Yeah. I think, interviewing Ron D. Moore would be really fun for me.
Yeah.
For for so many reasons. I don't know if anybody on here is a fan of Outlander, but I adore that show. So like I think about 85% of that interview would just be talking about Outlander and how he went about adapting uh, the first 3 books, and how he made the decision to step away in season 3 and then do For All Mankind. And I would also ask him how involved he is with that show now, because he's not actually credited. He hasn't been credited as a direct writer for For All Mankind in a while. So I wonder if he's in the meetings when they're developing the season, and then he gives the showrunners his notes, and then he goes off and does his own thing. As far as I know, he's still developing the new version of Swiss Family Robinson for Disney. So there is that.
I didn't know he was
But
working on that.
yeah, so yeah, so that's something that I would like to ask him about. Outlander, a bunch of Outlander.
Movie?
I believe it's going to be a show.
On Disney Plus, I assume.
Yes. Yeah, so a bunch of Outlander stuff, For All Mankind, and then I gotta throw some TNG in there. And also I would probably ask him about one of my favorite Star Trek movies. I know, Father E, it's not yours, but I love Generations. So I would love to pick his brain on that, and how dealing with Generations while writing For All Good Things possibly affected his work on Generations, because For All Good Things was a lot better than Generations was, despite me loving Generations for what it is. So yeah.
So they talk about that in the commentary on Generations. They're both kind of like,
yeah,
this didn't turn out as good as All Good Things. We definitely were more focused on that.
I think at the time they weren't as good as they weren't so great as juggling 2 things at the same time. So maybe that sort of led into the quality going down, at least when you factor in Generations quality to the quality of All Good Things Part 1 and 2.
Speaking of Friday the 13th, the Generation script that they churned out was apparently good enough to get them hired to write Freddy versus Jason.
Oh yeah, wow. I did not know that.
It was an unused script. It wasn't what they actually used in the movie. But when Paramount was and New Line Cinema were trying to figure out who is going to make a Freddy versus Jason movie and who's going to write it, and how do we cross over these 2 things, and some producer was like, oh, look, these Star Trek guys crossed over Star Trek the original series and Star Trek the Next Generation. Maybe they know how to write Freddy versus Jason. So there's a script out there. I've never read it, but
yeah,
I've read about it. Now we're looking at YouTube. This is the Enterprise G, or as some fans call it, the Enterprise Gay. Complete breakdown.
No one's called it that. I've never seen it called that. Is anyone call it?
I hear 47 people call it that before brunch every day.
That's so weird. Well, I like that it's the Enterprise Gay, because
you've never heard anyone say that?
No.
I didn't even want to make that joke because I felt like it was so played out, because like a dumb obvious.
That's the first time I heard about it.
Okay. Well, I hear that. I'm friends with a woman who posts that like every day. She has like a picture of 7 of 9 and like,
I like
look at this
it.
Captain of the Enterprise Gay.
It's a new layer that I hadn't thought about.
Maybe she's the only person who calls it that. I've just seen it so much.
So listen to this theme all the way until like the main part of it. Is this the Jason? What did you say? The Friday the 13th?
Friday the 13th
theme?
part 3.
All right, here we go.
I didn't. You have to tell it share Chrome. You have to go through like the share through Chrome, not share screen. We can't hear it.
It's coming right up. It's coming right up. Hold on, here we go.
We can't hear it.
Why is her face blurred? Is she on Cops? No one likes the fat one.
Lies.
4, 3, 2.
This theme. All right, here we go.
1. Here we go. I don't know what you're doing.
He's got to show the audio.
Oh, we were taught the alphabet.
Oh yeah.
All right, that's the theme. Is it that theme?
We couldn't hear it.
Oh, you can hear it? For real?
Yeah, I
Uh-uh.
tried explaining. You have to tell it to
Yeah.
share. You can't tell it share screen. You have to tell it
Oh,
share Chrome
fuck.
tab, and then you have to check the share audio box.
I did
on
that
there.
for nothing. Hold on. I'll be
Do it again.
Did
And I
not
couldn't
tell
hear
the-
you guys because I was
Yeah,
hearing
I'll
the
think-
theme in my brain. It was like,
Did I not try to
ah,
tell him twice?
you did. Probably. Anyways,
I know.
Actually,
it would ignore me too if I was. someone
well, I'll
else.
just send it to you guys offline and you can tell me because it's getting late and I have to wake up really early tomorrow. So-
Send it to me and I'll queue it up as we sign off.
All right, hold on. Here we go. All right.
Just put it in the private chat.
I will. I'll put it right now.
Bear
You
bear
guys,
with us,
this has been
people.
so much fun.
we're
Episode
back.
2. It's so good.
Yeah.
Trev,
Yeah.
thanks for coming on tonight. It's very
Thank
cool
you
to
for
have
having
you.
me.
No,
Thanks
you're
for having
always-
me.
Everyone on the salon is welcome 100% of the time.
A lot of
I just
fun.
I didn't put this together till the links and everything till the last minute. I'm not as organized as Stanley, so I didn't send anything out. So I'm glad you popped in.
You didn't send the Google Sheet 72 hours in advance.
I did not. I love that though. I love that he's like that. So it's good. I'm just never gonna be that. All right. So as we wrap up, were there any last minute topics, audience, that you want to hear us talk about? Was there something we left unresolved? Do you need us to finish you off before we sign off? And guys, could you promote what you guys have got going on to promote? Let's start with you, Ruben. What do you got going on?
Are you talking to me?
Ruben first.
Nothing that I can talk about.
Oh, pause it at the 5 there.
Oh,
Pause it
my
right there,
guess
Father.
If you're in South Florida, my play will be performed on February 25th in Main Street, Miami Lakes. That's the only thing I can talk about.
Excellent. Trev, we've got a little promotion earlier about the salon, but is there anything else you'd like to promote, including the salon?
Nope, just the salon. Every Thursday night, 6:30 Pacific. You can follow us on Twitter and Blue Sky at USS Salon, and you can follow us on YouTube at USS Salon. Salon Studios Command.
Very cool. And yes, Joel, there will be a animated series discussion tomorrow at 3 p.m. We're talking about BEM, the episode BEMS. That's what it's called, right? BEM, right, Father? Pretty
Yeah.
sure it's BEM. So we're gonna check
Man,
that
I hate
out.
that asshole too.
I know.
I want to see like my most hated Star Trek character. Holy hell.
Benji, we will settle 2 Vicks when I come back to the salon to annoy Stanley. So,
Where does Stan-
Janeway did nothing wrong.
I agree. I'm on that camp too.
Is Stan anti Janeway? Is he?
No, I think he would just be annoyed with us trying to resolve 2 Vicks because it's unresolvable. I don't know. Maybe he
No,
wouldn't be annoyed.
Stan goes to the Church of Janeway. It's fine.
Oh, he does. Okay, it'll be
Yeah,
fine.
yeah.
Everyone, yeah. Janeway did nothing wrong. It's totally. I don't know where the debate came from. It's true.
And the
by way,
entire episode could have been resolved by Janeway simply looking at the two of them after they were separated and going, "Is this cool?" And they both go, "Yes."
If you want to hear some really naughty talk about that episode, I was privileged to be on the Janeway podcast, and we actually did settle 2 Vicks on that podcast. So if you want to find out how that ended up in a very interesting and sometimes sexual way, you can go and check that out.
Sometimes sexual.
Sometimes sexual. Let's just say Space Grinder came up, and a lot of things.
Nice.
What is there to resolve, though? Tuvix was a hideous creature that became a guy.
I want to know how Space Grinder works. You are 47 parsecs away from.
That's exactly how it works.
Sweet.
That's exactly how it works. Okay, moving on to
Tuvix probably would have created some new like venereal disease.
Stop, Ruben. That's like after dark. Let's move.
It's too many afters.
I like that you did use venereal disease instead of. Is it STI? It's still proper, right? STI is the correct term.
Yeah,
I got a case of the Tuvix.
Man, this Tuvix is acting up, yo.
Listen, I've seen the actor out of makeup. I would totally get a case of the Tuvix. It's fine. Bring it
Oh
on.
my gosh. Okay, so Marcelo, what have you got to promote? Wait.
Yeah, well,
Have you got your promotions in, right? All right, cool. Marcelo and Ruben, you got yours. Okay, yeah. Marcelo, I'm totally trashed right now. Marcelo, what have you got?
yeah, well, okay. Well, I have a lot of stuff, but if you want to check out what I do here on YouTube, Balloon Hit Productions, I do reviews. But right now, I'm reviewing. I'm doing the watch long series for my favorite show of all time, Dawson's Creek, and
That's
Buffy the
awesome.
Vampire Slayer. Ruben was on my last 2 episodes, so if you actually want to come and see me geek out about the first show that I ever watched on television, Buffy the Vampire Slayer,
Oh, that's cool.
you're more than welcome to do that. Yeah,
All right.
Buffy is life. Yeah.
And Fathery.
Well, you can always find me on Tex-Trek on Fridays at 7 p.m. Central to watch our show live or listen later wherever you get your podcasts. Except next week I'll be gone on the Star Trek cruise, but if you subscribe to the Tex-Trek YouTube channel, we'll try to have some updates. I'm hoping that are we gonna try to meet up in?
Yeah, we have to create a group chat tonight. Let's start it tomorrow, actually,
Okay, let's
and
start it
then
tomorrow.
we'll create it. Yeah,
Deal
Group
with this
chat,
tomorrow.
group
group chat. I hate
I'm
them,
gonna
but I'll
wreck
do
you.
one
I'm
with
gonna
you guys.
wreck your
You
ass
three,
in
it's
that group
okay.
chat.
Y'all might
Nobody
see 'em.
invite me to a group chat, especially you, that person who was here earlier, and I'm not gonna mention anything else. Go on, sorry.
But yeah, you might see me and Sohel and Ruben in the same physical
You gotta let
space
that
very
go, man.
soon, so that'll be
know.
fun.
For the second year in a row, right? Or,
Yeah,
Yeah.
we met up last time.
was
Yeah,
it
yeah.
last year or the year
Or no,
before?
2 years ago, because
2
last
years
year
ago.
it left out
Yeah.
Cali. So
That's right.
I instead I was hanging out with Aaron Harvey in Los Angeles.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
It was 2 years ago. Wow.
Yeah, but we'll have some updates from the cruise, and then when I get back, we'll be sitting down with Star Trek author David Mack to discuss his new novel Firewall, which it tells the story of Seven of Nine in between Voyager and Picard, and deals with her joining the Fenris Rangers and all of that.
Is this the same David Mack that wrote Daredevil?
No.
Or am I confusing names?
No, that was that's a different. I know the creator you're thinking of, and that's a different guy.
Okay.
But just today we had Doug Drexler on, and that was a ton of fun. He's a great guest. He's really fun to talk to. And yeah, we'll be covering a lot of Discovery stuff. I mentioned earlier we're gonna try to do something for the premiere, which is here in town in Austin at South by Southwest. So hopefully we have that figured out soon. And of course, we'll be covering Discovery every week. We'll have a deep dive discussion on Fridays. And Rachel and the gang will have the Thursday night first reactions, which then lead into Stan and the Salon crew. So
That's a really cool Thursdays and Fridays. It's just like the old TV days, but on
know, it's
YouTube.
like-
It's so cool and focused
yeah.
on Star Trek. I love it.
it's like I'm back to normal. It's I'm very, I'm happy with all.
Father
this.
was
It's good.
suffering. We're his social, I guess your main social group. I guess,
went
right?
through, like I lost my support system. I don't know.
Aw.
But
I'm
We're
sorry.
here now.
I guess
think we're
this
gonna have
little
a bright-
After Dark show was something after
we're
all.
gonna,
I
we're gonna have a
appreciate
bright
that.
2024. I think there's a lot of, even with, we don't have Picard this year. Strange New Worlds has been delayed till next year. That Section 31 movie probably won't be out till like fall or Christmas, but I think there's still gonna be like a lot of cool stuff going on in the meantime.
Well, if wishes were horses, Now it's now it's time to play this thing. So I'm pulling it up. All right. Hopefully this time the sound is working. And tell me if this is the theme from Jason.
So in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
I say dismissed.
So here we are.
Do you hear it? No, right? Now listen to this theme though. It's so great. Watch, listen.
At the end of the next generation, and most likely the beginning of a new one. There's a ton packed in this video, so let's get going. We've seen the Enterprise A, B, C, D, E.
Isn't it
F,
catchy?
And only 2 more letters until we get to J. This is the Enterprise G and Titan A.
I love it. I think he composes all that music, by the way.
Let's
I think
set
I
the stage
asked.
for the Enterprise G.
I already knew the
or
answer.
rather,
No,
the Titan
he does
A.
have the.
Oh, he does
refer
not.
to it
Oh,
as
okay.
He does have the
With
Friday the
Captain Riker.
13th theme
Somewhere.
in there. Yeah,
Oh,
it's in
maybe
all
the
his videos.
graphics are all done by him or something like that. I forget.
Some of its systems were
But
placed
yeah,
in
this is a cool. Oh, this is like the concept they art of how this weird convoluted Titan might have been created. Because it's like the ship doesn't make like a ton of sense, like in universe, how it's like, oh well, it's like Riker's Titan, but it got rebuilt with components of like Savik's Titan, but it's still kind of like Riker's ship, but it's gonna turn into the Enterprise by the end. It's like is it the Enterprise? Is it a Titan? Is it a Shangri-La class? Is it like what the hell is it? Is it a
Yeah.
Luna class? I don't
Oh,
know.
who
Should
did
have
I
called it the Picard.
Whoops, sorry about that, Marcel. I meant to remove the graphic. Here we go. There we go.
Like in
But
Galactica, when Adama is like poor old girl, she doesn't know what she is anymore. I feel like that's kind of like the ship.
well, thank you, gentlemen. I had a lot of fun, and I don't want this to end, but I have an early start tomorrow, so I gotta get to bed. Thank you, audience. You guys stuck around. 4 of you are still there. Maybe that's us. Maybe that's us, like also monitoring our streams. I don't know. Sometimes
I
that
don't
happens.
watch this bullshit.
I love that. Yes,
I have 5 Google accounts.
that's great. Please just watch.
Subscribe to
Ooh.
Tex-Trek.
No,
We're trying to
subscribe
get
One of them
to
doesn't want to
Tex-Trek.
watch. So
And the
one of them
salon.
You can
We need
subscribe
to get
all
we
the
all
above.
we all need to get to 1,000 so we can get all those cool nifty unlocked features that you get at that point. But anyways, that's neither here nor there. We'll get there eventually, all of us. I just wanted to say have a good night, everybody. Live long and prosper. We'll see you tomorrow. Oh, and one more thing. I'm going to be reflecting on Star Trek Picard season 3 episodes on my TikTok because there'll be like long videos, so go check that out when you get a chance. And yeah, we'll see you next time. Woo!